Seltzer Kings
podcasts.
Hello, howdy everybody. Welcome to another episode of Boys Watching Buffy. We're just two boys watching every episode of Buffy the Vampire Slayer for the first time, giving our review, our reactions. We're your hosts. I am Joe Welke.
I am Vance.
And today we're doing a Season 5 recap episode, everybody. It's a big one. These ones are very time consuming for both Vance and I. For the listeners, these ones tend to be pretty long.
We're going to keep these as concise as possible.
Yeah, we go off we say that, but then we go off the rails.
We're recording an hour earlier than we normally do.
Yeah, because we're like, we know we're going to have some chatter about this.
But the positive is that next season will start and we can start going back to our normal hour to an hour and a half episodes until it ramps up to like 5 hour long episodes.
Yeah, at the beginning of the season, our episodes are like an hour 15, and we're like, oh, that was breezy. Yeah. And then by the end, it's like 2.5. We're like, for Jesus. Yeah. But before we get into the recap, everybody, join our Discord, join Patreon, patreon.com/boyswatchingbuffy, where we'll be doing the same kind of thing for Angel Season 2 recap and what went down. We also got merch now, couple of different designs, couple of different shirts. We got a mug. We got all kinds of goodies for you guys. That link is in the show notes, probably in Discord as well. Links all over the place. Yeah. Also, we got a new movie for Boys Watching Movies. I don't know if are we at liberty to discuss what movie
we can say what movie it is. It's for this.
Right.
I don't think it'll be. It probably won't be out when this comes out, but it'll be out either later this week or next week.
All right. Well, people, we did The Lost Boys, the classic vampire flick starring Kiefer Sutherland, directed by Joel Schumacher. A classic of the genre.
Kiefer Sutherland, Corey Haim, Corey Feldman, Diane Wiest.
Yeah. Classics. So yeah, that's going to be out soon. And I think that's about all of the up top stuff, right?
Join the Discord. We got some Amazon wishlist stuff. And this is my last due.
Yeah, this is my last due. This is the end of the due era. Everybody, unless somebody's generous, this is it. We're going to start getting them ourselves.
This wasn't a question on the listener poll, but if you're in Discord, hop in and let us know what the next season's era should be.
Yeah, what should it be?
Yeah.
What should it be? Because we're all out of Mountain Dew Energy Baja Blast. And we had Major Melon. I think we got it from Tofu Lover. We got Major Melon from Slither Ann, I believe. Or I'm not quite sure. I'm pretty sure Slither Ann did that.
Yeah. Major Melon was Slither Ann, Tofu Lover, Baja Blast.
Baja Blast. So we appreciate you guys fueling us throughout this season. The Dew era may be over? Question mark?
Is there
Buffy's dead? Question mark?
I really want her not to be in the next 2 seasons.
I know, that'd be so fucking great.
But I know she's
Don't change
back.
the name of the show.
Yeah.
Don't change the name of the show.
And no one mentions it either. Like, they got over it at the end. There's never even like a mention of Buffy anymore.
Yeah, it's like they've had several months of just like, healing through it. And they're like, all right, yeah, well, remember how Buffy used to do this? Yeah, well, we do things a bit differently here.
But they still reference Riley randomly.
Yeah. And Oz. All right. So what's interesting is we had people follow up with us, and they actually took account and studied our predictions for this past season.
before that, we would like to do a little follow-up on the finale that wasn't a finale. We unearthed some deep-seated Buffy fandom, a sore spot for the Buffy fandom, which is the belief that some people believe that season 5's finale was supposed to be a finale, and other people, and it's clear that they knew it wasn't a finale.
Yeah.
But it was originally written to be a finale. And then they realized it wasn't going to be a finale, and they tweaked stuff and changed stuff. But it wanted to serve a little bit of two purposes, like a semi-finale for WB. It wasn't a true finale. They never went into the episode thinking it was going to be the end.
Yeah, I'm not even going to comment on this anymore. I'm just like, I saw the information that I saw. I put it out there, and I think that I don't know, man, I opened a whole can of worms with that.
I think the interesting thing isn't you saying that. I think the interesting thing is that this has been a debate in Buffy fandom for so long. It really led to some interesting Discord chatter versus what I thought we'd talk about is the ritual. How did the ritual work? Is like, did Buffy really kill innocents? I was really expecting a whole different type of episode discussion, but that's what happens on Discord. I'm happy we have it because every time somebody talks about something else.
Yeah, you can never predict the Discord.
Stop saying specimen 17.
I was like, oh shit, all right.
Why is there one Starbuck?
That's like 3 seasons too late on that one. We got merch that say one Starbuck.
We didn't even realize that was a sticking point. But yeah, the finale, I like talking. And one of our Q&A questions in the listener poll, someone asked how we feel if season 5 was a finale. And
I feel like we talked that to death on the last episode.
We talked about that on the last episode. And I think it's a fun way to approach an episode. And I think we all said if, because we knew. Like, I was like, if this is a finale, I wouldn't necessarily think it works for all the characters. But we already know that there's 2 more seasons while we're discussing it. So we're discussing it in a hypothetical sense.
Yeah, and like the poster that I saw, I know if I was watching this in real time while it was airing and I saw the WB series finale of Buffy, I would have been shitting my pants, been like, oh, this is the last episode.
Especially then, because it wasn't like now where you find out like, oh, Tom Holland's in like 3 more Spider-Mans after like Endgame or something. It's like the news isn't there. And even though the news is there, not everyone consumes media and the news behind it. Like, so people just go to the movies and watch TV and then they just stop. They don't know like, oh, it was picked up for another season. That's us. We're like those people. But if you're just a normal watcher, you got to assume that's over. You don't know.
Yeah. I mean, the semantics of that are wild.
I know.
Like the game that they played to probably increase viewership. Like, that's bullshit, dude. Like, that. Come on.
Well, I mean, they were on a different network, so I'm sure. I'm sure WB is not trying to increase viewership for the last episode of their season. But
this is the last one on WB.
But why even get rid of the show that's like making you so much money?
No idea. Angel's doing the same numbers, and they kept Angel.
Did Angel not move networks?
No, I don't think so.
And like, why is the strike still going on? Anyway, let's get back to
all right. Yeah.
Let's get back to
we had our dear Discord user shout out compile and write down all of our season 5 predictions and sent us a healthy reminder of like what we predicted when we were doing this last time when we did the season 4 recap episode.
Should I go through my own or?
Yeah, go through your own and I'll go through mine.
Okay. So I predicted that Giles would get in a relationship again. Nope. Little Sis is his suspected character, right? Oh, I suspected Little Sis was showing up, Dawn, aka Dawn. So that was right, finally. I thought we would get more Slayer lore and Watcher Council stuff.
Ding, ding, ding.
We get I got a gripe about the Slayer lore, but we get a lot of it at the beginning of the season, and
the
Watcher
Watchers
councils
do
show
come
up.
back.
All right.
Ding, ding, ding.
Terra Demon revealed this season. We do get her reveal. She just isn't a demon.
Yeah.
So I'll give myself half for that. Xander gets a weird superpower. No. And Amy is back. No. She does get mentioned.
A couple of Amy mentions.
She did get
a couple of Amy mentions.
Yeah.
I'll give you 15% on that. All right. Here are my predictions. Spike becomes one of the Scoobs. Ding?
Yeah. Was it this season? Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Did he get chipped last season?
I mean, he was fighting alongside them a lot towards the end.
Yeah, I mean, he's there at the end. He's in the finale fighting with the Scoob.
Ding, ding, ding. Yeah, ding. Terra isn't human / she's immortal / legendary. So wrong about that one. She's just a dummy. Amy will still be a rat. Ding, ding, ding.
Yeah.
Angel won't show up much. Ding.
Wait, show up much? You mean like... You didn't say at all. You didn't say at all.
Doesn't he show up once?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, how much did he show up last season? Like once?
He showed up like 2 or 3 times, I feel like.
Oh, yeah. He came for beat up Riley
Native American
times.
Spirit. Yeah, beat up Riley.
All right.
Well, he showed up more season 4 than season 5 for sure. So I'll give myself a ding, ding, ding on that. Oz won't come back. Don't know why I would fucking predict. I mean, ding, ding, ding. This is like Jenny Calendar ain't going to come back.
People are going to want to hear my predictions then for the next season.
Oh, boy. Willow and Tara will move in together. Ding, ding, ding.
Got it.
Buffy gets a new roommate. Unless you count Dawn.
Yeah.
New roommate will find out everything and want to get involved. Wrong. Riley will maintain homeostasis and have to be saved a lot.
No, he's. What do you mean by homeostasis? That he would just like?
I guess that he's just like not really.
Why are you using big words?
Yeah, I don't know how to grade this one.
I would say no because he doesn't have to get saved a lot. He does a lot of vampire killing. Like,
he does become like a CSI guy by the end of this.
For someone who lost his superpower, he is murking vampires left and right.
Yeah, and like he did not maintain homeostasis because he's gone. So on that. And Xander and Anya will break up. So wrong about that. Holy shit, that's way wrong.
All right. Those were all.
So that is what we predicted for this season. We had a couple of good ones.
Yeah, I mean, who's supposed to know? How are we supposed to know?
How are you supposed to know? But all right. So I guess without further ado, let's get into our recap of season 5 here. We usually start off with our favorite and least favorite episodes. I always start with least favorite because I like ending on a high note.
Okay.
So, least favorite episodes. We chose 3, and then we also have our listener poll.
Yes, we will reveal what the listener poll has said after we give ours.
Yeah, and I will say that mine here are in no particular order.
Ditto.
I will start off my least favorite episodes with family. That's Tara's family thing. And then she's being all worried that she might be a demon. And then she puts a spell on the Scoobies that blinds them to seeing demons, which puts them in peril. Didn't really dig it. I know that they were trying to dig into Tara's past because, a kind of complaint that we had, and I'm sure that other people had back in the day, was like, we don't know what the fuck Tara's about. Why is she a character? I don't get it. So they tried to like do a little bit of backstory for Tara. And I thought that this was just like not that great of an episode.
My issue isn't them trying to do backstory for her. It's like they set up that she might be something else. They teased that last season. And then this kind of undercut it and made it so that she's just a regular person, right?
Yeah. Didn't we say that she was kind of being hinted at being something else in Restless, especially?
Well, when I saw her in Restless, but then it's like you look at the trivia and she wasn't supposed to be there. That was really supposed to be Angel, and that's fact.
But you can't. Vance, you can't rely on the trivia.
Well, I'm basing it off of when they're looking for demons and she hides the dust so that the spell doesn't work.
Yeah.
And then there's earlier stuff in this season where when Dawn is talking to Tara and she's like, "Oh, you're a good person," and Tara does that look at her shoes and kick the sand stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So they were like teasing that she thinks she's a demon or witch or whatever her family lied to her about. I did not dislike the family episode as much. It's a little bit of a letdown because you want to find like some cool secret for Tara, but yeah, she blinds everybody, and Amy Adams is in it. So
it was I was just like, what do you got?
I got Listening to Fear, the Queller Demon episode.
Mm-hmm.
The Queller Demon's a little weird. They also leave that guy. They leave that guy out in the
middle thing what they do
with Riley. And the military shows up and it just becomes a CSI and I don't know. It just wasn't. This season was tough to like pick. There weren't the giant clunkers and the like there's the couple episodes that are like really great, but everything's kind of okay. Like some episodes had some stuff that I liked, and I'm like, oh, I'd really like that. Is this episode not good because of that? You know? So the least favorites are least favorites, but like they're not like I can't believe terrible. How awful this thing was.
Yeah, it's not like like the Where the Wild Things Are one where they were in the void fucking for forever.
Yeah.
There's nothing like that, I don't think.
Mm-hmm.
The ones that I don't like are just kind of like, it was fine, but like it didn't blow my mind or whatever.
Remind us to rank the season so far too. I have no ranking.
Yeah. All right, next least favorite episode that I have is Checkpoint, where the Watchers return and they just start harassing Buffy and Giles for no reason. And they're just like, you have to go through all these tests and we're withholding information until we think that you're worthy. And then Buffy is just like, fuck you guys, I'm worthy and you're nothing without me. And they're like, you're right. And they're like, okay. And that was what we brought the Watchers back for. Like, there's so much shit to talk about with the Watchers, and that was it. You know?
The only info they give is that she's not a demon. Glory is a god.
And then after that, Giles just has all the answers, I guess.
And he doesn't still. Like, that changes nothing. Finding out that she's a god versus a demon meant nothing. It just meant she's stronger. Who cares? How do we stop it?
Yeah.
And it was the introduction of the Knights of Byzantium, who she just doesn't even bring up.
Doesn't care to tell the rest of she shows up with a sword and they're like, what's that? And she's like, don't worry about it. Anyway, you guys need me more than I need you.
If a Slayer walks into your building holding a giant broadsword, no, it's not.
I got questions. I mean, I was just like, this is what we brought the Watchers back for. I thought that, we've been talking about how like there was no consequences really for Buffy quitting the Watchers, and then the Watchers show up and they're just like bitches.
they punk Giles, and they were kind of right about him not selling dangerous magic stuff.
That's true, but we're
you can listen to that episode. We don't have to recap that. On my list I have Blood Ties. It's when Dawn finds out who she is.
And then she starts cutting herself.
And then I think they had that fight with Glory in the hospital. Mm-hmm. This is the beginning of Buffy just knowing what stuff is. She's like, that person's neck was broken. Glory's here. There's no other demons at Sunnydale.
Security guard's neck was broken. He just overhears it.
Yeah.
Glory was here.
Wait, the hospital is on high alert? That's just an announcement that they're walking around? I don't remember. I can't remember exact. I think this is her birthday too.
Oh.
Yeah. I think it starts out with her birthday and stuff. But Yeah.
Oh, this is gonna be weird. I feel like we're gonna have different ones.
I know. We used to
for
have
all of
like,
our least favorite. We usually have like, yup, totally agree.
well, let's see. This is it. This
All
is
right.
the trick.
My last one is Tough Love. And it's where Willow and Tara argue out of nowhere, which people talk about like the seeds were planted. Of course, like Tara would be worried about Willow. This is Willow's first woman and woman, female to female relationship. And this is also where Tara gets her mind melted and just becomes a bumbling idiot for 3 episodes. Again, I really hated that part of this season where Tara's just a wackadoo.
Yeah.
Could have really done without that.
I didn't like her being I didn't like her having to be mentally incapacitated, but I get it for story and plot.
Yeah.
So like I get it, but it's like not
it's
not
I
great.
just didn't enjoy it. And I know that we talked about on the actual episode about like how this argument just like escalates very quick and they make jumps from A to B to B to C to B, C to D like so quickly.
Yeah, I believe
that it was like, holy shit.
I believe they can have every element of that argument. It just didn't seem like they were building towards. It was like they realized they were gonna run out. Like they knew that they're gonna have Tara not be able to have conversations, so they were like, we're gonna squeeze all of it in right here.
Yeah.
Like, so that it had to be like all encompassing. It had to be like, you're too powerful. You're a first time lesbian and I'm worried. Like, it had to be all those things in it. And it wasn't like, it was like we saw more of her being a powerful witch than her doubting her like sexuality. Or Tara doubting it like throughout. Like, they didn't plant enough of that seed for me personally for that conversation to spin off there. But I do understand that could be something in the back of that character's mind.
I don't know why though, because like even in the Buffy bot episode, Willow is like, look at how hot that lady is. Like Tara's worried that she's going to go back to boys. Is like, no, she's going to leave it for a robot, dude. Like,
I can't compete with that machine. Yeah.
What's your final least favorite episode?
What I have is Out of My Mind. The removing of Spike's chip and then Riley having this heart issue. And they have that weirdly emotional scene in the cave where Buffy tries to talk Riley down without ever saying that she actually loves him. And then somehow the doctor just doing a surgery on him real quick. Yeah. I think this is the episode where Graham comes back and asks about the loves bitch or whatever. Is that this?
Yeah, like, what are you, the mission's boyfriend now?
What are you, mission's true love?
Man, you hate the episodes where Graham comes back because you didn't like the one where the Queller demon shows up, and that's when Graham comes back with the beret.
I actually like Graham this season. He's hilarious. He's like a forceful robot. Like, if I found out that Graham was a robot created by Warren, I would not be shocked at all.
Yeah, that would make total sense. Yeah. He's too handsome. Some lonely lady created Graham.
Warren's like, I wanted a friend, and then I just made him I made him too much of a bro, and he joined the initiative.
Well, those are all the least. Wow, no least favorites in common.
Yeah, I had a hard time deciding. I had a hard time deciding on these.
Yeah, like I said, this isn't like last season where there were some obvious ones.
Yeah. Now the question is: did any of ours line
up with the listeners?
And I don't think they did.
Yeah,
because the least favorite one. Should we go to the third least, or work our way up, or go?
Yeah,
top to bottom?
Okay, let's work our way.
Okay, so the third least favorite one is Buffy vs. Dracula.
I like that one.
I think Buffy vs. Dracula is a weird tone setter for the season. Well, the end of that episode sets up something that the rest of the season does not pay off at all.
Yeah.
And it's a little... It has first season vibe to it.
I agree. But you know what?
It's
I
not
like
bad.
First season.
Yeah, it's not.
I like first season's goofiness and campiness.
Yeah, so I was surprised that one got as many votes.
I will say that Buffy versus Dracula, I feel like felt like a better follow up to Restless, because Restless was talking about like, you know, all the first Slayer stuff, and Dracula starts talking about that, and then we kind of drop that plot.
Yes, exactly.
At least in our opinion, anyway.
Yeah, we'll talk about that in other our favorite and least favorite moments, probably. The second least favorite episode was Real Me, which is episode 2. So the season's not starting off strong for people.
I know. Yeah, Real Me, that's the one where Dawn is talking about her, she's got her journal, and we're kind of like going around following her around and being like, who the fuck is this?
Who is this? And then Tara's like, I feel like I'm not a part of the Scoobies.
Yeah.
And what else happens in that episode? I don't really
remember, to be honest with you.
I'm trying to think. It's something at the end where they're still trying to tease that Dawn is something else. And I think that's the problem with this, not with the season, but Dawn comes out of nowhere, and we have to be like, what is Dawn? And at the same time, we're still dealing with the like, what is Tara? And then Tara becomes nothing. So then it's like, okay.
And then we're also dealing with what's a Slayer.
Yeah. So they decided, we'll get rid of Tara. You're just a person. You're just a witch that's getting weaker at witch powers. And then we don't really care what the Slayers.
Yeah.
And the least favorite episode is Into the Woods. Overwhelmingly voted the least favorite. And I would think this would be more people's favorite, considering how much people hate Riley.
Right. I guess they just don't like the whininess of Riley or something?
I think the debate, the argument where it's like Buffy has to chase after him. If you don't like Riley, and then you see, and if you don't like Xander, and Xander's given like some, you know, we had the debate on this on Discord and on the chat. Yeah. Then you don't like Buffy having to run after this guy that you already like, get out of here. But I think they do a good job of like, I kind of love the ending of that episode for Riley and her to just not have real closure. And it's just like wow, man, that's a heavy hitter.
Yeah.
And they didn't kill off Riley. He doesn't like die in her arms somehow. And like, you know, like, yeah.
Yeah. Maybe they just didn't like his fucking giant, awful turtleneck sweater and terrible leather jacket as he's getting on the helicopter.
I mean, it's got that great Spike Riley scene.
Yeah.
Because this is the episode where Spike takes Buffy to see him getting the suck jobs.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I don't dislike it as much, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like we said, least favorite was hard to do this time around, I feel like.
I thought favorite was hard a little too. I mean, there's a couple more clear standouts, but yeah.
Yeah. But what's your first favorite episode? We're moving on to favorites of season 5.
I think we'll have a couple overlaps here.
Yeah, we absolutely will.
I have an honorable mention, but I'll save that
I do too.
I picked Fool for Love.
That's on my list.
Yeah, the Spike origin story. Yeah, killing the Slayers. Yeah, great.
Yeah, it was interesting.
Yeah.
It was super interesting to see his history and like how he came to be. It ended kind of weird, like with him trying to kiss Buffy and then
he didn't try to kiss.
Hearkening.
Oh yeah, that was at the end he puts his arm on her because the mom gets sick. That's how that episode.
No, isn't that's the one where he tries to kiss her and she's like, "What are you doing?" And then she throws money at him.
Yeah,
she's
same
like,
episode.
"You're beneath me."
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
I know. I just I'm agreeing. You said that's how it ended. He tried to kiss her. That was like the middle of the episode, and then later he comes back.
He's got the shotgun.
Yes. Yeah.
And then we'll find out Joyce has got a shadow.
I like that episode because the flashback stuff is really interesting, but it also works with the present day stuff.
Yeah.
Him trying to like kiss her saying no, him having his complete emotional breakdown and like going to go kill her, and then seeing her broken down and then sit down and he puts his arm around her and starts patting her back, and she has this look on her face like, what the fuck is going on with my life? And it's so good. It's such a I don't know. There's a lot going on in that episode.
I feel like he doesn't put his arm around her. I think he just sits with her.
I think he definitely pats her back or something. He definitely touches her.
But this also like sort of semi picks up the first Slayer stuff and kind of alludes to the death is your gift situation that happens later on. Because he's like, all you Slayers got a death wish.
Yeah.
And then that comes up later on when Buffy's on that spirit quest.
Yeah. She only goes on the spirit quest because she thought about like she was craving hunting people. I just thought whatever. We'll talk about that later.
So that was your honorable mention one?
No. That's like my legit one.
Okay. Yeah. Fool for Love is a legit one for me too. I have on my list, since we already covered Fool for Love, I have Crush as well. That's the one where Spike confesses his love for Buffy and Drusilla returns, and then Spike is trying to kill Drusilla to prove his love to Buffy, and if Buffy doesn't admit that she has any kind of feelings for him, he's gonna let Drusilla kill him. I was just like, damn, dude, this guy is flying off the handle. And it was just like, it was very interesting to see like the depths that he would go to, and it was interesting to see Drusilla return and Spike be in denial about his love and try to course correct once Buffy rejected him and be like, yeah, you know what? I am a vampire and I am a bad guy. And I am, I'm getting back to my roots. And then he can't do it because he's a softie at the end of the day. He's a little soft poet.
It wasn't really that, because Harmony comes in and shoots him in the back with an arrow when he's going to let Drusilla go. So like he gets an out there, but he doesn't turn. Like the end of Fool for Love, when he has a shotgun and decides not to kill her, that's the like, okay, I'm not going to kill her. I feel emotions. This one, it's still questionable. Was he going to let Drusilla go and kill her? You could say he wasn't, but like you never get a chance for him to make that decision because Harmony shows up.
Even if he did let Drusilla kill Buffy, I think that he would have that would have haunted him forever.
Oh, yeah, but he's a vampire. They already haunted forever.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, he doesn't have a soul. He just has a chip, so he doesn't have remorse like Angel.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
But yeah, that one is on my list of favorites. Thought it was interesting.
Yeah.
What about you?
I got Intervention, the Buffy
That was
Bot
my honorable
episode.
mention. That was my honorable mention for goofiness.
I love the there's so much stuff with Buffy Bot's so good.
Yes, dude.
Her reading the facts. Like, Willow, you're my friend. You're recently a lesbian.
You're a new lesbian.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How's your money, Anya? Just so good.
Oh, money's good. Thanks for asking.
And is this the one where they kidnap Spike too? Glory kidnaps Spike. Yeah.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. And then Buffy tricks him and she kisses him. And he's like, whoa, what about my robot?
Yeah.
She's like, I'm not a robot, bitch.
I just love
There's a kiss for
the only thing I don't like in this episode is the first Slayer stuff.
Quest.
Yeah. I mean, I don't dislike it, but it's like a whatever part of this episode for me. The Buffy Bot stuff stands out and it's so good.
Yeah. Dude, we can't stop talking about how dope Warren is, man. I mean, that guy is fucking amazing.
He's a good roboticist.
Yeah. So yeah, I had Intervention as my honorable mention episode. But of course, feel like we both have this one on there. The Body. Joyce's death. That episode was chilling. It accomplished everything it needed to. It shakes you to your core. So well done. Cinematography is well done. The lack of music is so perfect. Everything is so good in that episode, dude.
Yeah, I thought about it's not one of those ones you want to watch over and again, but I couldn't leave it off the list just because it's just so well executed.
Yeah.
You know?
It's so good.
Yeah.
It's
yeah.
It's so good. Like I remember last season, like our top episode was Hush,
Mm-hmm.
and that's so good in such a different way.
Yep.
And the body is so good. It shows the versatility of the series and how good it is at like doing different shit, I guess.
You know what's crazy is like our two top episodes from the 2 seasons are episodes that have like lack of music.
That's true. Yeah. Hush.
And next season there's going to be a musical episode. So that has to be horrible.
It's going to be our least favorite episode of all time. That's like heralded as like one. I know people have posters from that episode and shit.
Yeah, don't worry. We're not spoiled for the episode. We just know that there's a musical one.
Yeah.
Like we knew that there was a silent one.
Yep. But yeah, man, that episode, very good. I think if I were to do a rewatch, I would probably skip it because I don't want to be in my sads. And I would also skip the next episode because I don't want to be in my sads. I just go from April the robot to Buffy bot.
Yeah. Yeah.
And just be like, oh, what happened to Joyce anyway?
Again, great bookends. Like, yeah, so good. And my honorable mention was Triangle, and it's only for the troll character.
Oh, yeah.
I couldn't fully put it as like a best episode because I don't love the Willow Anya stuff in it.
Mm-hmm.
And I forget what Buffy's doing in that episode. She's like gone somewhere.
I don't really quite remember.
She shows up late.
Yeah. She's like doing stuff with Tara, I think.
Yeah, I just know she shows up at very at the end of it. It's like she's like not in it most of the way. And I think Giles is in. I think she's dealing with them. I don't know.
But that's also like a Xander big moment thing too, where Olaf is like, you gotta save one of these women. You gotta choose. And he's like, I chose none.
Yeah.
It's like, they're both gonna die.
And Anya tries to sacrifice herself in that situation. Which really seems like it was setting her up to die in the finale.
Yeah. Yeah, man.
Like, she's been trying to kill herself. She's been trying to die saving Xander.
And for as much as Slayers have death wishes, 1,400-year-old demons do as well. 1,100, yeah, that's what it is.
Love kills. That's what this show teaches us.
That's true.
Yeah.
Alrighty. So, what were the listeners' favorite episodes?
Favorite.
Number 3.
Number 3, The Gift, the finale. The finale it wraps up the stuff with Glory that it was doing. It's not my favorite, but I could see people liking it. I wonder if you like it more if you know what happens next season too.
Oh, that's a good question.
Yeah.
I just remember my biggest thing against it was, especially the last 2 episodes, whatever was before The Gift and The Gift, is they were just shoehorning in explanations of like, oh yeah, the veil is, the closer that the ritual happens, the veil between Glory and Ben just stops happening. Oh yeah, it doesn't affect Spike because he's a vampire, and that's why the memory thing, that's why nobody can remember it. I was just like, all right, dude.
I didn't mind the memory thing as much, just because they had set it up in previous episodes. Spike having the full explanation is like a thing. Like something happens that they've been setting up, and then a character who doesn't know anything about it goes, oh, well then this must be it, audience. Moving on. Which is fine. It's fine. But the second one is The Body.
Very surprised that's the second one.
Yeah, I'm looking at this list and it did not get the most first. Are you surprised it's the second one? Because
I'm surprised it's the second one.
The first one, Fool for Love.
Yeah.
It's the Spike one. The Spike episode.
People fucking love Spike, but I feel like The Body just like impacts more.
It impacts more, but when you're talking about favorites, like which one are you gonna watch? If you're a fan and you've watched this show a billion times, you've seen Fool for Love 10.
Yeah.
And you've seen The Body like 3 times.
Yeah,
and there's a
right.
moment in Fool for Love that is just great. That
Also, Spike looks badass in that 70s like Sid Vicious getup that he's got.
Yeah.
Fucking love that.
Oh, let's do a little poll result. We asked the question: Is Dawn real? Yes or no?
Alrighty. What do we got here?
And we have 81.3% say yes.
And 19.7%.
18.7.
18.7. Say no.
Yeah.
Wow. How do you feel about that?
I think that's a lot more people saying no than I would expect it. The question of Dawn being real or not isn't really a question. Is she Buffy's sister?
No. Yeah.
Maybe. Hey, I mean, if you have an adopted sibling, they're still your sister.
Yeah, but yeah. I mean, at this point, it's like, yes, we call her fake all the time.
Because it's
people
fun
did
to
not
do that.
seem to enjoy that, and it is funny.
But she is a real life person.
Yes, you can see her, you can touch her.
Well, I mean, you went ham on Discord talking about how easily you would just choke out your sister if some random person walked up to you and said, "That's not your real sister. She's going to destroy the world." Like, you would just start choking her at the dinner table, according to your Discord discourse.
Yep. No, I'm just saying, like, when it came down to it, and Giles, all the Scoobs are kind of like, not all the Scoobs, obviously.
The Scoobs in the finale don't even entertain the possibility of killing Dawn.
Yeah.
Which is interesting. Like, they didn't have any, I just wanted more of a debate.
Yeah.
I think it needed 2 episodes. I don't think they had enough time in the finale for it to be a thing, but
I mean, the only dissenting opinion was Giles.
Yeah.
And he was like, "It's not your sister." I was like, oh, shit.
The Scoobies had more opinion when it came to, like, how to fight, how to stop the mayor in the Ascension. You know?
Yeah.
Like, they all debate this one. They were like, I'll let Buffy handle this. The world can end.
I think they probably saw how unhinged Buffy was getting about, like, I'll fucking kill anyone that says my sister's fake.
I don't know.
Buffy would have killed the shit out of me, dude.
Willow, I would not have believed Buffy would have killed me, though, because Buffy's like, I'm not going to kill an innocent person. I'm like,
oh, really? Not after you saw fucking the Knights of Byzantium?
Well, she's like, don't kill my sister. We don't have to do it. And then she's like, what? She's going to choke out Xander or Willow?
She said, anyone comes near Dawn, I'll kill him.
I think it's a weird threat because no one was planning to do that. Anya's not planning to do that. Xander's not planning to do that. Spike's not planning to do that. Willow's not planning to do that. Tara can't do that. So that's basically just a message for Giles. He's the only one that's even entertaining it.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, Anya, of all the stuff we know, she would have been like, maybe we kill her?
That's what I'm saying, dude. Anya definitely would.
Anya instead was like super helpful in the finale. She's like, fine.
Yeah, she was the only one that had a plan.
Let's come up with some alternatives.
Yeah, I will agree. Dawn is real. There's no denying that. She exists on the world.
She's flesh and blood, Joe. She's flesh and blood.
Summer's blood. It's Summer's blood. I knew it. I could feel it. You're a part of me. Shut up.
Tasty summer blood.
That bitch. Yeah.
What do we do now?
Here's the question is, you know how Angel had to feast on Slayer blood that one time in order to heal himself or whatever?
Mm-hmm.
What if could he have feasted on Dawn to heal him?
100%. Well, she's not a Slayer. She's not a Slayer. No, because also Joyce got bitten by Darla.
Yeah, that's true.
And that didn't like really do anything crazy. No, it has to be a Slayer. But guess what? We're 5 seasons in. I don't know how a Slayer works.
Yeah.
Was Buffy like when Buffy was 15? Not a Slayer.
Yeah.
Would transformation happen? Like all of a sudden a Slayer dies and like this. What is it? I don't know.
It doesn't even seem like she got like struck by a bolt of lightning. It's just like that guy showed up and pointed at her and was like, "You come with me."
She didn't even feel different that day.
Yeah. Like, we don't get that scene of, like, in Spider-Man where he's, like, ripping off the sink and all that shit.
Taking off the glasses and can see 20/20 vision. Yeah.
Ripped all of a sudden. Like,
and
we
the
don't
other
get
ones,
any of that.
the other ones, they just show up in Sunnydale like, yeah, I'm a Slayer now. All right.
I would love to see... Well, maybe we will see that because Buffy's dead. Season 6.
Yeah, save it for predictions.
All right. So where do we go here? Do we go to the listener poll? Favorite pod episode, or are we talking about our favorite villains, least favorite villains?
It's your call. You got the rundown. What do you want to do?
I go villains. Let's do villains first. Least favorite villains. Here's... Again,
let's just run these off.
Order.
We're not gonna do a back. Yeah.
Number 1, Tara's family. Don't give a fuck about them.
I think they're super evil. I'm a big fan of like real people being the worst villains, and they might have killed their mom. Like, I don't know. Like, I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah, we don't know if she actually was a demon or if it was like
we don't know what happened.
1600 shits where they're like, she's got hysteria.
Yeah. Yeah. What else? Right, was that your top? I wrote down a couple.
Yeah, I mean, I've got two.
Yeah, just run it down. Let's just run it down.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I got Toth, the Xander double demon.
Toth is my number one.
That guy sucked. Yeah, that guy sucked.
He did.
And then
he was awful.
Yeah. I mean,
he doesn't do anything besides
miss
his shot. He misses his shot and then dies easily at the end.
Yeah, he also is like just making Xander's life better. Like super villainous. Oh, you got an apartment and you got him a raise on a job. Like, well, good job, dude.
That wasn't his goal, but I mean, the plan isn't terrible. To separate he was going to separate the Slayer from the strength of the Slayer and the weakness of the Slayer, and he was just going to kill her that way. I just don't know what a Slayer is and how.
Yeah, because if you kill the weak version or whatever, it's a part of Xander and both of them die, blah, blah, blah.
There's easier ways to kill the Slayer than that.
Yeah, but and Anya wanting to have a 3-way with the Xanders.
Yeah.
And then I also had the Leok demons who were from the same Tara's family episode, the clown-looking guys. That's a Spirit Halloween costume. Those guys looked stupid and they were bad. They had all of the advantages in the world. They were invisible to the Scoobies and they didn't do shit. They still lost.
Yeah.
So those are my least favorite villains.
I only have the Queller demon. That little
Queller demon sucked. Yeah.
I did have an honorable mention, which is Doc.
You thought you said he was the least favorite.
As a least favorite. Doc is an honorable mention just because he's like power. For me, his power, like he looked cool, but like he gets beat up by Xander and he just gets pushed off the like tower at the end. Like it's a little, he's a
anticlimactic.
I did, going through my notes, have a question now. When Spike first meets Doc with Dawn, Doc goes, "You're that guy at the corner mart who likes to play dominoes. He wasn't blonde or a vampire, though."
Yeah. Who is
what
that?
Did that mean? Is that something? Like I think Doc might show up next season. I don't think he's dead. I don't know. Like I wasn't sure what that line meant. And I know the writers of this show don't just throw out pointless stuff. You know?
Yeah, that's such a specific call out.
So specific.
But so far in the show, we've never seen anyone play dominoes, I don't think.
Or like a person that looks like Spike. Maybe that's hinting at the next season's villain will be someone that looks like Spike. Because he goes like, "You're that guy at the corner mart," but he wasn't blonde or a vampire, basically. If I have the quote right. So like, he's mistaking Spike for someone, but I don't understand why.
Yeah, I don't either. And Spike really quickly just is like, "No, that wasn't me." Anyway, this chick wants to raise her dead mom.
Yeah, that's a specific setup for something that I haven't.
Well, I remember at the time we thought that was going to be the third Hell God or whatever that we kept talking about, but we were way off on that.
Yeah. So just wanted to mention that in case it comes up in next season. Just say, hey, we got it. We got our eye on it.
All right.
I think we got the same one.
Who are your least favorites?
The troll.
Oh, your favorites?
Oh, my favorite. We did the least favorites already.
Okay. Yeah. Favorites, I got, Olaf the Troll. He's on mine too.
Yeah. And then I have Harmony's on there.
Harmony and the Vampire Gang. Yep.
And then Warren and Aprilbot. Yeah.
Yeah. Warren's awesome. I put Doc on mine. I like Doc. I thought he was an interesting character.
I like the look. I just don't like his.
He didn't get disposed of very easily.
Yeah. It's like, wait, he can come back to life, but then can't, like, just doesn't give a fight to Buffy, which is, like, kind of funny, anticlimactic, but then. Wait, what? Like, I don't get what. Yeah.
It was terrifying when he just showed up at the top of the tower and just starts stabbing Dawn. He's the reason why the dimensions opened.
Anybody with a knife in front of a girl tied up would have been scary at that moment. Like, him specifically being a lizard monster demon doesn't even factor into that.
Speaking of that, I had an honorable mention favorite villain, the giant snake demon guy. I thought that was like season 1 campiness. Snake guy with giant biceps. Yeah. Fucking hilarious.
Little art.
Fucking hilarious. Loved that guy. Loved his look.
Like that shark, whatever, that king shark guy.
Yeah. From DC Comics.
Yeah, Suicide Squad.
Yeah. All right, listener poll.
Yeah.
Their least favorite villains. Starting from the bottom. The junkie suck job vampires. Agree. Tara's real family. I had them on there.
Mm-hmm.
Dracula. People hated Dracula.
Yeah, look at the poll. Like, I was reading it. I'm like, I think that's the third least favorite.
Mm-hmm. Didn't like the episode. Didn't like him as a villain.
He's not a great villain. It's all over the place.
It is all over. I mean, I thought it was fun.
I mean, it's fun, but it's like we just came out of a crazy season. Like,
that also feels like forever ago.
I know. Like, going back and having to remember the episodes with Riley.
Yeah.
So much.
Riley's only been gone a half a season. It feels like forever ago.
Yeah.
And the number 1 least favorite villain from the listeners was the Queller Demon. Yeah, makes sense. I get you.
People don't want little people to have jobs. I get it.
It was just so not incognito. It was out in the open. Like, how did no one notice it on the ceiling, dude? Like, it was right there.
How did this thing come down in, like, the Middle Ages and no one see it and just stab it? Because you can just kill it by stabbing it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
like a giant roach. Yeah.
Favorite villains of the listeners. Number 4, they got the Minions, the Jinxes. I can dig that.
Mm-hmm.
Number 3, the Olaf the Troll. Of course. Good stuff. Very good time.
Just fun. Yeah.
Number 2, Drusilla, who I didn't even factor into this equation at all.
For me, I think Drusilla is getting like some long-term, like I can't think of the term for it. Like some
coasting off their past accomplishments type of deal. Nice little memory. I feel like number 1, it's a
lifetime
does that as well.
Drusilla's getting a lifetime achievement award.
Yeah, I feel like a little bit of that comes into play with Harmony as well. Like Harmony, like comes up and pops up every once in a while, and it's always fun. It's always goofy.
At least she is a villain in this. Like, she's attacking with a gang of people. It's silly. She and she actually tried to kill Buffy and Riley again in that when they were getting the chip taken out. Like, she's around.
It's interesting too that, like, Drusilla and Harmony are both in that same episode, Crush, that I said was one of my favorites, but that episode is not considered one of the listeners' favorites.
Yeah.
I guess if you had to pick your top 3, it wouldn't make it, but like
it's like, well, I like those 2 people, so this is my favorite episode now.
Alrighty. What should we do next, Vance? You're picking this one.
Let's do the podcast. Let's stay on the poll and let's do what episodes of the podcast they liked the most and least.
Yeah.
Let's see. Let's go with the just okay episodes, because no one hates the podcast.
Oh, yeah. If you hate the podcast, you stopped listening long ago.
Or you just hate listen. I don't know.
Yeah.
You get bored. No one's released a new podcast that you listen to, and you're like, God, I'll just give the boys another try.
Gotta get my fix of Buffy pods.
Thanks for having us be one of your 6 Buffy podcasts you listen to.
I gotta say, these results are interesting.
All right, so I will say this. I think there was one during the season where I was like, this is our favorite. Because last season, the Yoko factor, we were high-fiving and being like, we nailed that episode. And then it hit the top worst and at least favorite. And I thought that was hilarious.
Yeah.
This one, I really thought our best episode was episode 99 before the finale. The Weight of the World. For me, I felt like that was one of our better episodes. I think we had one in the middle of the season that I felt good about too. But 99, I felt like, we were on a nice flow.
Yeah.
But so you want me to read these off?
Yeah, you read these ones.
Okay.
Off.
The Just Okay episode, Spiral, was the 3rd ranked.
I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't even remember what that episode is.
Spiral, I remember looking it up when I was going through. This is the 3rd to last episode. This is when they, the Knights of Byzantium, and they run away.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
In the caravan?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah. I don't remember what we said about it that much.
I'll accept it because I don't remember it. I can't feel any type of way about this.
Joe wasn't even paying attention when we recorded it, so of course. This another Just Okay episode, Buffy versus Dracula.
Goddamn, dude. Dracula.
Which is interesting. And
yes, it is very interesting.
And the top Just Okay episode is The Body.
That's crazy.
No, I know we had some people on Discord, like, because I tried to, I was on Discord with a debate with people about my take on Anya's reaction. Yeah. And I thought Anya's reaction, Josh said he wanted her to be like more like a kid. Mm-hmm. And her reaction is kind of like a kid not understanding things. But that also is a part of my issue with sometimes what they do with Anya, where she's like, kill it with a piano. Oh, don't you know that you can use the Dagon sphere? It's like, whoa, what are you? Are you very wise?
Are you a master strategist? Or are you a little child?
Yeah. And I just thought in The Body that they were going to use her as, I don't know the customs of how you guys deal with death. And I thought that would have been an angle for them to take with her, where she's like, I don't know what to do with my hands. I don't know. Am I supposed to sit? Am I supposed to say anything? And that's a real thing that would happen. Like certain cultures, they throw a party when people die, you know, like it's different everywhere. And she's from all over, you know, and demon cultures. So I thought she would be less like, oh my God, I love Joyce and I'm really sad about it. And more like, I don't know how to support my spouse, my partner, Xander in this moment. I want to be supportive, but I have no idea how to. That's an angle that I thought they could have played with. I had no idea when I was watching it that they were going the child angle. And if you know that, it kind of makes a little bit of sense. But yeah, it was just like that's the only thing that kind of bumped me. I don't know if we talked about it on a podcast, but I know we had a back and forth on Discord about that.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, whatever. You know, looking at the Just Okay episodes of the podcast, it really, I don't know.
It's going to be really funny.
To me then looking at the favorite podcast episodes.
Yeah.
Because the number 3 favorite podcast episode is The Body.
Yeah. I think it just splits. I think it's one of those things. This season is one of those, not divisive, but I can see this is where the Buffy fandom can really get into their feels. Like, a lot of takes you can have. Like season 1, you like Buffy, the show, or not. This is a lot of moral implications, a lot of other stuff. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I wish we had more time to be like, are you Team Giles or are you Team Buffy? There's not a lot of that debate, you know?
Yeah. So number 3 was The Body. Number 2 is The Weight of the World, which we just talked about as like, oh yeah, we fucking nailed that one.
Yeah.
Is that the one where they go into Buffy's mind?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And number 1 is Buffy versus Dracula, which is funny because that was number 2 least favorite. I think people just like when I do voices, maybe.
Yeah.
Because I was doing baby Buffy voice and I did the Dracula voice.
I mean, that's the Starbucks wolf. The espresso pump wolf. Is,
you're
Buffy,
right.
The Buffy. That's the
wolf.
That was the beginning of the season.
Dracula.
We started the season with the wolf.
With is the wolf Dracula? This podcast is so fucking dumb. Thanks for sticking around.
Is Dawn the wolf? Is Dawn the cat? Is Dawn the fox? Can Dracula turn Amy the rat back?
Oh my god. Yeah, man. So that was a very interesting one. Just to see just 2 for 2 on least favorite and favorite. It's just interesting. Love it. But yeah, thanks for listening and sticking around and all that jazz.
I think we should do we should just run through some favorite moments, or least favorite moments, before we get to like some other stuff.
Should we look at this poll here for a second?
Oh yeah, let's take a look at that poll. Go for it. So
we also had a question. Do you feel bad for Riley? This is interesting. This is basically 50-50. We got 49.3 saying yes, they feel bad for Riley, and 50.7 saying they don't feel bad for Riley. What camp are you in, Vance?
Well, if you're following us on Instagram or if you're in the Discord, our user Surly Neighbors suggested a Discord follower, Surly Neighbors, suggested a video edit for Riley's experience this season, and I cut that together. And if you're in Discord, you've already seen it. And when this comes out, it's probably going to be a reel on our Instagram at Boys Watching Buffy, and it's just a little small recap of Riley's time in Sunnydale. And after looking at those clips and doing all that, I feel bad for Riley.
Yeah, I feel kind of bad for him. He gets the shit kicked out of him.
I will say this, and this is one of my least favorite things. This is the season that broke me on Buffy and Riley having zero chemistry, though.
Yeah, I mean, they absolutely have none.
I was always trying to hedge it and defend it a little bit in season 4, and I didn't want to push so hard on it. But then it just got to a breaking point, and I was like, they have no chemistry. Riley with someone else, perfect chemistry. Random Dr. Intern Ben shows up, Buffy chemistry immediately. I don't get it. They just did not work together.
Yeah, I mean,
Riley with Spike is good.
Yeah, Riley with Spike.
Riley with
There
Willow.
was that time where he was talking with Willow,
yeah.
And I was like, that's something. He just has nothing with Buffy.
Yeah, it just made no sense.
I mean, Riley with Xander. When he tells Xander, she doesn't love me, and Xander is like, bro, that's my bro now.
Even if you take the Dracula episode, Riley with Giles.
Yeah.
It just, the two of them together did not work. And this is the thing about casting, when you watch a sitcom that doesn't last and you're like, man, why it doesn't work? If you fail in casting, it doesn't matter how good of the writing it is. The writing needs to be good. But then if you mess up the casting and there's no chemistry on screen, if this was the whole show, if it was just Buffy, Riley, and the show was based around that, this would not last at all. And you'd wonder why. And it's just sub out Riley for someone else, or sub out Sarah Michelle Gellar for someone else, and it would probably work. I have no idea why they don't have chemistry.
Yeah, I've never seen an example of lack of chemistry so bad than this. It's whenever I've always heard people oh, they don't have any on-screen chemistry. I never really got it until this.
Yeah, this is where you're
I was like,
oh.
Yeah, you're just like, why is this so bad?
There's movies where you'll be you'll find out behind the scenes, they hated each other. And you're like, Oh, wow. I did not notice. I thought they were in love on
Yeah.
screen. This, I'm like, they probably got along great.
Yeah, they probably still talk to this day, but they just didn't have it.
Yeah, I mean, he was in a movie with her husband, Freddie Prinze, right?
Yeah. Yeah, well, I feel bad for Riley though.
I do, but I'm happy it's 50. I'm happy it's a 50-50 split because I know how much people don't like Riley, but
yeah,
at least it's not like an 80-20.
Well, feeling bad for Riley and not liking Riley are two different things.
Exactly.
Yeah, like I didn't like Riley.
The question is, do you feel a little bad for Riley? It's not even like full on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, you gotta feel a little bad. Even you take all the ass kickings that away from him and all the like. I think that it's just he left on such a sour note with the suck jobs that people are like, fuck him. He's like, he was already skating on thin ice and then he got the suck job. People just write him off. But like, dude went through so much shit.
Like he was experimented on.
Yeah, he was drugged against his will and stuff. And like, how do you not feel bad for him? And then the girl that he's in love with doesn't love him back. Like, I know that there's debate about that, but she never once says it.
He didn't. Yeah. He's a punching bag. And with that, to go to favorite moments, least favorite moments, I'm going to bounce all around with this. Like, let's just bounce around. I did like Riley getting suck jobs just to feel something. And I like Riley's bleak farewell ending. I think that him flying away on a helicopter is so dark and like so like unfulfilled. Like the ending, you just don't get, like there's no closure. They don't get closure at all. It's so interesting. Yeah.
It is very bleak. That was one of your favorites?
Yeah, you know, I actually
just
I thought that was so, the fact that they had him like instead of just it fits the Buffyverse. Instead of him just like making out with someone else, he's going to a vampire to get sucked. Yeah. And the season opened with her getting sucked by Dracula.
Yeah, that's true.
So
yeah. One of my favorite moments are all kind of abstract except for one.
Yeah, this is what this is for. Yeah.
One of them is Giles getting a lot more serious. Like when Giles was yelling at Spike, he just like shoves him up against the bookcase. He's like, "Get the fuck out of here." When he cracks the Jinx's knee or whatever, and he's off screen, you're like, "Whoa, what happened there?" Yeah. And then of course, killing Ben. Yeah. Like, dude unleashed some darkness this season that we haven't seen in quite some time.
Yeah.
And I like it. There was some debate, apparently, about whether or not there was going to be a Giles spinoff after this season.
Mm-hmm. And you're not allowed to read anything about it?
Yeah, I don't know. But him becoming like a bit darker and more serious and less of like a bumbling idiot that gets knocked out all the time, it was cool and interesting.
He didn't get knocked out once this season.
Yeah, I don't think he did. Not that I can remember. Though Buffy versus Dracula seems like it was 25 years ago.
Yeah, he must be taking those like Tua lessons of like jiu-jitsu, how to fall.
Just slap the ground.
Yeah, he's in the back practicing. One of my favorite moments of the season was when we saw, and I don't think I have this name right, but the slime demon that Drew was dating.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
With the antlers and everything.
Yeah. And that's in Fool for Love.
Yeah, that guy was fucking hilarious.
Which is one of my favorite episodes and which is the listener's favorite episode. And it's like having stuff like that sprinkled in to that episode is just so good.
Yeah, and it was like that episode was so serious and dark, and Spike is like, also like talking about killing Slayers and then kind of confessing his wants for Buffy, and it's like so twisted.
Oh, yeah, so
and then
good.
You see that boogery antler guy with his little, with his little suit on.
Yeah,
should I leave?
A moment that I didn't really love that much was Xander being a little jealous that Dawn didn't have a crush on him anymore. It just felt a little weird.
No,
felt a little weird.
We talked that one to death, kind of.
Yeah.
I mean, one of my favorite moments, and we talked this one to death too, so we won't have to talk too much about it, but Warren being an unheralded genius. Warren fucking rules.
Oh, and we found out from a Discord user who listens to a bunch of other Buffy podcasts, we're the only people talking about Warren.
I mean,
we gotta set ourselves apart somehow.
True.
Yeah, you go ahead.
Should I do a disappointment or?
All right, just go ahead. Just run them
I'm
down.
running through my favorites. Okay.
Yeah, just run down.
Giles getting serious. Warren being an unheralded genius. This one's more of a, I don't know, abstract one, but I just wrote Sarah Michelle Gellar's acting just getting way better this season.
Yeah, I'm happy we watched this season. I'm happy we watched Cruel Intentions during this season too. Yeah.
She stepped it up during this season, dude. Like, it's good. There was like that one episode where she first becomes Dawn's like legal thing where I was like, this feels weird.
Yeah.
But otherwise, she fucking crushed acting this season, dude.
You know, my least favorite line that she has in this is in the final episode when Giles is like, we bloody well will talk about it, right? And then she tries to go back at him, and she's like, what are we talking about? Huh? We're talking about killing my sister? Is that bloody? Is that bloody what we're talking about? Like, she tries to throw out the bloody, and it's like almost snarky, but it's not as impactful as it's supposed to be. Like, her line read of it. But I did like her as Buffy Bod and being different and the way she goes in and out of that, and
the mannerisms,
and then just all of the body stuff. You know, like
and my last like kind of favorite moment was just like the whole body episode. It was great. It was like real, impactful.
I gotta give another shout out to the Glory Dr. Intern Ben argument scene.
That was good.
Like, that is like something you should like teach in film school. Just the blocking, the staging, the interplay, the cutting, way to keep it fluid. I don't know. It was just really great. Like, and I don't even love that episode, but that was a highlight of it.
Yeah. Yeah. Like you talked about, that's the Willem Dafoe Green Goblin.
Yeah.
That scene.
But with like
that was good.
But like with a third person and like glass and props and moving and throwing, like it's just really well done.
Because Willem Dafoe just had to deal with himself in a mirror. Like,
and the same with the Golem. Yeah.
Ben and Glory have to deal with also Dawn's trying to escape while they're having this craziness. So it's like they added that extraness to it.
Yeah.
That was a really good scene. I'm glad that you mentioned that.
Yeah. And another thing I really liked is Glory uppercutting Spike into the wall. Because I just love people flying across the screen. And Buffy getting backhanded by Glory in their first fight. And she flies against the wall. Like, Glory was just smacking people. Like,
dude.
Yeah.
Glory fucking ruled, dude.
Yeah.
I mean,
except for the finale. The ending, she's not great. She's not great in that.
I think it was just such a breath of fresh air after Adam and all of season 4. Like, this was a reset that was needed, I feel like. Yeah. Like, this was a good big bad. Yeah.
I do have a couple.
You want to talk about your disappointments?
Yeah,
unless you have more favorites.
No, those are most of my favorites. The stuff that we haven't talked about as much. My Tara being mentally disabled for a little bit. I understood it for story plot. The Scoobies leaving that brain suck guy in the woods with Riley. They just don't. The Scoobies don't care about regular people at all. But my big one is Buffy not finding out more about the Slayers, what a Slayer is, which is the reason Giles stays at the end of episode 1. He is planning on leaving, and then she says, hey, I want to learn more about Slayers. And Giles is like, oh, I'm needed.
Yeah.
And then he proceeds to not tell her stuff.
Yeah.
Like, she doesn't get, oh, there's a ritual that you can do to figure out stuff until like way after the mom is dead. So it's like, what are you doing, dude? You've been sitting on this? I don't know. I just think there's a way to do more Slayer stuff. And I mean, we learn a little bit, but I still don't know what Slayers are.
Yeah, I thought this was going to be a lot more of the story of this season.
Yeah, I learned a lot about where Spike came from and how to kill
learn more about that.
Yeah, how to kill a Slayer and that they like to die.
I thought that you were going to include, because this is what my number one, the first thing I wrote on Biggest Disappointments, Dawn's earring stealing, leading to nothing.
Well, yeah, I do not see that playing a part next season. That would be great. I mean, I wouldn't put it past this show to call back something like that. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know what that is. Yeah.
I also wrote Dawn in general. Just not a big fan of Dawn, to be honest with you. And like everything about who she is and where she comes from. And like, now what is she? Like, what is she next season?
Yeah. I wrote down my predictions for next season already, but I don't think I have a Dawn one yet. And I might have to wing that.
I have 2 or I have 3.
Oh, wow. All right.
Anya's lack of use for knowing demon stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like they could have leaned upon her a bit more. They
come in at the end. I mean, they use it twice in this. When she yells at Giles for selling the stuff to Glory, and then at the end when she has, it's, yeah.
And then my last disappointment, I put that the secondary villains were kind of lame.
Yeah, I was going through the villain list, and this is less than most seasons. Where I was like, oh, this was a Glory as the villain most of the season, like, or just, I mean, a lot of it deals with the mom passing away, so that's not really a villain.
Yeah,
and then you have the Buffy bot, April bot stuff, and like Intervention isn't really it's Glory's really a villain in that one again still. So yeah.
It was just kind of like, oh, there was no Hush, there was no The Gentleman.
We do get the troll though.
The trolls, but he was more funny.
You mean like scary, like a real scary other villain?
Yeah, there wasn't like threats.
Yeah, even Dracula, who you think is going to be a threat, is a cartoon character.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
okay, that's all right.
Yeah,
alrighty. What should we do next here, Vance? Or should we talk about fashion?
Yeah. You do have the fashion corner, so hopefully we don't have to go too long on your fashion report, do we?
Honestly, we're not going to even do a fashion report / corner for a recap because it's so blatantly obvious.
Season. Yeah.
It's so blatantly obvious who's best dressed and who's worst dressed.
You got to do a different movie, though. You know what you should do? You should do The Lost Boys.
Yeah. My God.
I think people will want to hear that.
Yeah. I might swap that for a season 5 recap because this is just so best dressed is Glory. Fucking duh, dude. Like she rocked it.
And that is what the listeners also have picked.
Yeah. I mean their top 3 is good. Glory number 1, Buffy number 2, and then Spike number 3. Like, yeah. Completely with you, listeners. I know that we've had some debate in the past about who's best dressed, and I was like, hey, you fucking, at the beginning of the season where Buffy was like kind of wearing some whack ass shit, and I'm like, defend this. She pulls it out. Mm-hmm. She pulls it out by the end of the season because she's going through some dark times, except for the last episode where she's wearing fucking business attire.
No one actually chimed in on Discord if that outfit is from a different... Is that from the end of season 1? I don't know. I feel like that outfit's from another episode. I think it's definitely a callback outfit. So, yeah.
And worst dress... Obviously, it's Willow.
Obviously.
Like, you can't, like...
you can't put that many dogs on a sweater.
We had fucking Vance come to my place for a special episode of the report / corner because her outfits were so bad that one, and especially that one episode. We said it in that episode. That is a season ender.
Yeah, it was
there's no coming back.
Someone had to really try hard to like take the throne down from that. Take her off the top. Like,
I mean, good God, that was a season. Then they have number 2, Tara. Agree. Number 3, Xander. Get serious. Xander wears basics the entire season. He's just looking good.
Who's your number 3? Who would be your number 3?
They have Riley at number 4. Riley would be number 3 because of his ill-fitting, terrible jackets.
He can fit the military. Like, it's so weird that they put Riley in the things that didn't make him look great. Like, that's why I feel a little bad for him. You put the jacket on him. You see it doesn't work. And like we said, Spike doesn't look good when he puts on the initiative gear. It doesn't look good on him. But he looks good in his jacket wear. Like,
yes.
You go into wardrobe. I guess they wanted him to look stupid, though, because I don't think they want the audience to like Riley. It's a thankless role, man. It is a thankless role.
Yeah. Do you think when he got that role, he was like, I'm going to become the next, like, people are going to debate me or Angel. And then everyone's like, definitely Angel, bro.
I don't think he was thinking that, but I mean, like, you're on, like, one of the most popular TV shows on TV at the time. Like, who, like, and he played college basketball with Tim Duncan. Like, he's doing fine. Yeah. I mean,
I just think that Xander at number 3 is people's bias towards Xander not enjoying him as a person. That one episode where it was doubled up, he dressed kind of like a goof.
Yeah, you ripped him.
But that's about it. Like, the rest, I mean, the body, he has like some wacky green bell bottoms or something. Yeah. But I can't recall like an obvious Xander outfit that would warrant him even on a list of like top 3 best or worst dress. Like, Riley is so much worse than Xander. And it's nothing that Riley is like,
it's not
the fashion is fine. It just doesn't fit.
Yeah.
But that's it for the fashion corner best and worst dress.
Let's do our slays real quick.
Okay.
I'm trying to look at the listener poll to see what they wrote down. Was there a poll question for that?
I don't think that there was, because I didn't write anything down for best slays.
Okay. I wrote down some slays.
All right.
Once I find them, this is the part that we cut out of the podcast. Slay of the week. Can't find my notes. Okay. Best slay of the season I just wrote down a couple.
Okay.
Glory knocking the head off Buffy Bot and her kill on Gregor when she just throws the hubcap through his chest.
Oh, really like that was excellent.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, Gregor.
Yeah. I like the troll slaying that keg and the bronze.
Mm-hmm.
The hammer that's strong enough to knock down the bronze and beat up Glory, but Xander's broad shoulders are fine.
It just blows my mind that didn't do anything. And the only injury he sustained is from when he cracked his wrist with his hands. Yeah. Like, he was taking that fucking hammer to the...
He jumped chest first into it. He should have been done. Obviously, Giles snuffing out Dr. Intern Ben / Glory.
Yeah, that was dark.
And then a little one that we might have forgotten about. Buffy curb stomping a Liach demon in the family episode.
I did forget about that.
Yeah.
That's brutal.
I'm sure there are plenty of others, but yeah.
I mean, if I had to pick one slay of the entire season.
You do have to pick one slay.
I would say it's Giles snuffing out Doctor, because that was just such a cold and dark, intimate moment.
My only... Yeah, I know I talked about this. It was like, and this is, if this was the finale, that would not have been the way to end Giles' character. Because I think it really sets up for some interesting stuff later. But if that was like the last thing that we saw Giles do, it'd be like, really?
Yeah.
Like, that's what your character arc for 5 seasons was? But again, we know it's not a finale. This is an if, which is answering a previous like Q&A question that we did get. So yeah,
it's almost like a setup for Giles being a villain. Like, you did what?
kind of wait for my predictions. See what my predictions say.
I don't know, man. It's just like it's so dark. I don't know, man. It's so cool though.
So let's go quickly through some character arcs. I think we do this. What if we go through some character arcs, and then we go to things that people liked about the podcast, and then we'll go to the Q&As.
Okay, sounds good.
All right.
Character arc. Should we start from the bottom?
Yeah, let's do bottom.
Riley, he gone.
I think him leaving is like exactly where it needed to be.
I mean, he was riding high last season. It was fucking with Buffy nonstop.
Mm-hmm.
And then like this season, like he's fighting alongside her all the time. He's there for her when her mom is going through some shit. He's lighting 85 candles in her house to slow dance with her. And he gets nothing in return.
The episode I remember being like, Buffy really doesn't give a shit about Riley is the Queller Demon episode. When he comes over with the military guys after she kills the Queller Demon, and he walks in and he's like, what's going on? Like, what's going on? And she just looks at him like, ugh, and then goes upstairs to check on her mom. And I'm like, why are you looking at him like he did something wrong? He tracked down the monster that was at your place. You didn't look at Spike like that, and he's got your family photos that he stole from your basement. Like it was just like she just had no time for Riley at that point, and I just felt so bad for him. I'm like, he's doing everything he can right in that situation.
Yeah, but like I said, I think on that episode, there are times where you're just like, there's no reason to break up with that person on paper, but you just don't feel it.
Yeah.
Damn, those are rough breakups, man.
If that is what they were going for, then they nailed it.
Yeah.
like I don't even know how you do that, but man, they nailed it. Yeah.
She's a little monster in a man. You're white bread. You're toast.
If I wanted someone powerful, I'd be dating Spike. It's like, oh jeez.
Yeah. Cut to.
All right. Anya?
Anya has had a very interesting life.
Yeah, she's becoming a capitalist, strong Republican. She
loves America.
Kind of wants
engaged now.
She thought about having a kid with Xander at one point.
She's afraid of dying because she loves living so much now. I mean, she caps it off by getting engaged.
Did not see that.
An 1,100-year-old demon is engaged to Xander.
Xander says, I love you to Anya in her awful outfit. She could have been
those pajamas,
in her awful outfit. The episode that Riley leaves.
Yep.
That end of that episode ends up with Xander not going, oh, Riley's out, I can slide in with Buffy. Nope. Goes to his demon girlfriend and tells her he loves her. And I was like, that is not what I was expecting.
1,100-year-old child.
Who's smart and socially awkward, but loves... she's
also kind of rich. Is she rich now? I think she's rich now because she's invested in like stock market, right?
I mean, she's making some money. I don't think she's rich now.
She's a jillionaire. That's a prediction. She invests in AMC before.
That's your understanding of stock market? She invests in the stock market. She's rich.
She talks about how she tripled her money.
Yeah, tripling her money that she makes at the Magic Box.
Hey man, she's
that's not that's Sunnydale wealthy. Like Giles got all that money from being a watcher, getting reinstated and paid.
Yeah, he got back pay.
Yeah.
All right. Up next is Tara.
Where do the watchers get their money from?
I don't know.
Who's paying them to do whatever they do?
There needs to be vampire hunting mercenaries. Like,
yes, I mean we're 5 seasons
soldiers
in.
of
There's
fortune.
There's some stuff I'm still want to see. Yeah.
Yeah. Tara. Honestly, I feel like she's kind of flat. She had her mind melted, but then she returns to flat.
Yeah. She's becoming less of a witch.
Like, yeah. Dude, Tara sucks. Like,
they don't do anything with her. They don't do anything with her.
And what they do with her sucks. I mean, we saw her family. That's about it. Like, that's the backstory we get for her.
She did get and she is there. Like, she's just there to be like a support. She's such a support character. Like, she's there in the body because she's like, my mom died too. And it's like, oh yeah. All right, that's a good thing. That like helps, and then she becomes mentally disabled so that now Willow can understand what it's like to have to take care of someone. It was such a weird little arc. She started becoming good. She started becoming really funny. Like when she was trying to spice it up and everything? No, when spicing it up, and then when Buffy sleeps with Spike, and she's like, oh no, she's gone crazy. Like, she started having fun lines. And then she lost her mind. I think that one of the questions last season was like, how do you feel about Tara? Mm-hmm. And we were like, we don't have enough information about her to really form an opinion. We got a little bit of information. I gotta say, I don't give a fuck. I do not give a fuck about Tara. Yeah, she's not really on my radar. Every now and then she can chime in something. I do have some predictions about next season, but not heavy ones on Tara. But yeah. Yeah. All right. Then we got Dawn. Dawn went through a lot. Who? Dawn? Oh, the key. The key. Okay. Yeah. The key. Yeah. Dawn went through a lot this season. She's only been around for one season, dude. She's been through a lot. Yeah. She had two crushes this season. Yeah. She had a crush on Xander and on Spike, which is very teen girl like. The monks did a great job making her. The monks, dude. They're idiots. We should have made a good highlights. Job. That's a highlight of the season. The monks. She cut herself. She became emo kid. You're not my real mom. Adoption. Damsel in distress. Mom dies. The mom that you just found out that you're oh man, it's a lot. Yeah, it's a lot. Getting sacrificed. I mean, she was all over the place. She saw a dragon. She did. She watched her sister kill herself. Yeah. Like, she doesn't have a satisfying ending. Like, no. The last we see her, she's just like standing around. Yeah. I mean, she jam-packed like 5 seasons worth of trauma into this one season. Like, yeah. If the next season should open with her in therapy. Yeah, absolutely, dude. Yeah. But we know what happens when you go to a therapist. The person ends up getting killed smoking a cigarette. Dude, I completely forgot about that guy, the cool black guy therapist. Yeah. That guy was awesome. I was like, this is going to be fun. They're like, no. He's dead in 15 minutes. I don't even remember who killed him. Me neither. Yeah. That was 2 seasons ago. That was in high school. Yeah, that was high school time. Yeah. The mayor, maybe? I don't know. Xander, good lord. He's got a new apartment. He's got a job. He's got a fiance. On paper, Xander's fucking killing it. He is the most real world person. Yeah. And he doesn't have any superpowers. Like, everybody that has powers is fucked up, it seems like. And he's escaping everything just by being a regular ass dude. Yeah. He also Giles doesn't have superpowers either. Giles knows witchcraft, though. He doesn't Giles does not use witchcraft during fights. Like, he does not, like, witchcraft his way out of, like, a demon attacking him. Giles' superpower is that he's unhinged, like, Ripper strength, and then also he can read a book. He's really good at finding things in books sometimes. Yeah. Yeah.
when it needs to happen.
Well,
He's great at finding it immediately. But
When
he can't find anything out about Gory for so long.
When it's a monster of the week and there is like 15 minutes left in the episode, he gonna find it.
But yeah, Xander's doing really well for himself, man.
Yeah.
Good on him.
And he got away from his parents. So
yeah, and he's got the sickest apartment.
Sick apartment, a girlfriend that some people might not like, but she really loves him and she likes to get down.
She cannot stop boning him.
Yeah, so he's doing great.
Yeah.
And he's friends with a slayer and a witch.
Dude, you know, there's that meme of like who in It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, who has encountered the gang and escaped the most unscathed. Xander is escaping the most unscathed so far.
Here's a question I have.
All right.
Do you think Xander needs to have a guy friend?
Yeah, that'd be helpful. Yeah.
It's interesting that he doesn't. It's not the show for it, and we have so many shows where it's like a bunch of guys and then one girl, you know? So it's interesting to have, it's nice to have a show that has like just one guy on the side.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
it is amazing that he's this, huh? What?
He had Riley, kind of.
Riley, like, they started to have a friendship, and then it was just like not. I thought that would have been interesting. I thought they had great chemistry together.
Yeah, they were great. I mean, he and Oz too. Like, they had a good friendship.
Yeah, but Oz and him had not a good friendship because he cheated on. Like, it wasn't like rooted in like, oh yeah, we're buds.
It's also like the only male characters that he encounters are Spike, who he hates.
Yeah, there's Spike.
And Giles, who hates him.
Yeah. People don't get along with Xander. Maybe he should just stick with the ladies. He's a construction guy that just hangs out with the girls. That's fine.
Yeah, he's fine.
Yeah, he's fine.
He's killing it.
All right. Willow.
Willow.
Boy. Well, she's peaked.
She is the most powerful being on Earth.
Yeah. I am terrified of her, and there's going to be some predictions for next season, I'm sure. And
she went toe to toe with a god and like kind of held her own for a little bit.
She used a god's power against the god.
Yeah.
So that's what I don't get. Like when they were like, "Oh, Glory's not a demon; she's a god." It's like, so she can do the same thing that Willow can do.
Yeah. Yeah, Willow's arc is like Willow, where she started and where she ended up this season. Yeah, crazy.
That's why you could feel like this would have been a finale because she's gone too powerful. Like, yeah, she's Superman level stuff. Yeah, and she's got a girl back. Yeah.
I mean, Tara talks about like you're getting so powerful that it's scaring me. Mm-hmm. Agreed, dude.
Hey.
Agreed. And Buffy's even like, yo, you're the most powerful.
Like, yeah, but if she wasn't so powerful, Tara, you'd still be babbling and building that tower with those bricks. Yes, I got him. I got him right when he's trying to take a sip of the dew.
You're lucky I didn't already take a sip because I would have spat it out and fried my computer, and that's the end. Have to end the episode there.
That's the goal, to get you to fully spit take all over. So
Giles is a murderer now.
Giles is a psychopath who loves killing, and he wanted to see the guy die. He took pleasure in murdering Dr. Intern Ben.
He's not like us.
Oh, and someone on Discord mentioned that like Giles might be like talking to his Ripper side. He's having one of those
like an outer monologue.
Yeah,
with him just soliloquy.
Dr. Intern Ben's like, what the fuck are you talking about? I don't kill people. And
I don't know if I necessarily agree with that.
I can buy that take just based off of him putting on the glasses, which is a Ripper. Like, I've never seen that done where the person, normally the glasses go off to kill someone. He puts them on to be a badass. And I would have to go back and check like the Ripper moments, if the glasses are on or off or all that stuff. Like it's a reverse.
They're definitely not on. Remember in Band Candy, he takes his glasses off. He's not wearing his glasses at all.
But Band Candy's not necessarily. Is he Ripper then?
I feel like he's Ripper then.
All right. Well, I mean,
when he comes in with the chainsaw, he's got glasses on.
When he beats up Ethan Rayne in Halloween, that was like the beginning of Ripper stuff. And I don't remember if he had glasses or not.
I don't think that the glasses really play a part in it.
I don't know why you put your glasses on to really look at that, dude. That's so creepy. Giles got real creepy at the end of this.
Yeah, and he got dark. He went dark.
And he's a good business owner, but not a careful one. What is it? He's not what's the word I'm looking for? Conscientious? Something. He's not
he's not careful.
Yeah, it's another word I'm looking for, but I'm not going to be able to find it. It should not be selling magic, dangerous items.
Yeah.
To people.
Irresponsible,
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then, of course, Buffy.
No, nothing
Buffy's
to talk about. Yeah.
Yeah, she gone. She
abandoned her post. She abandoned her sister. She abandoned her Scoobies.
You gotta live, Dawn.
I still don't get why she thought jumping into that portal would have killed her.
It's because of Summer's blood.
Because everyone in the last episode has fallen off the tower.
Yeah. Yeah, Spike did. He was fine.
And
Glory did.
And another show that we watch on Patreon.
Yeah.
You jump through portals to go places. So why would jumping through this portal necessarily kill her? But whatever, it's magical looking thing. Buffy's dead. She's not
Buffy
coming back.
Started the season wanting to know about what being a Slayer is. Did she learn?
If she comes back for 2 more seasons, what did she learn?
She learned that death is her gift. But
what if she got 9 lives? What is she, a cat? Is she? Buffy's the cat. Buffy's the cat.
Oh shit! There we go.
Buffy's the cat.
They've lived through 6 apocalypses.
Yeah.
She's got 3 more? 2 more? Because I guess Glory was 7.
Yeah, we squeezed a couple in. Yeah.
Yeah, 2 more. Yeah. 2 more seasons.
9. Yeah, there it is. We figured out the cat.
There we go. Buffy's the cat.
Yeah. All right. I mean, we've talked about Buffy's arc. I mean, there's not.
Yeah.
I mean, she got rid of Riley. She came to terms with relationships and realized she shouldn't date Dr. Intern Ben until she was ready. So that was a plus.
Yep.
Yeah.
Good on her there. Alrighty. Up next, after our little recap of every character, the listeners dropped a line on what their favorite podcast moments were. We got a lot of responses.
Yeah. Some of them are overlapping, but yeah.
Yeah, obviously, but it's very nice to see these nice little things that we got here and people enjoying little parts of the podcast.
Yeah. People really seem to like the Dr. Intern Ben.
Yeah, Dr. Intern Ben. Yeah,
they really like the wolf debate from the beginning of the season.
Yeah, your Riley Finn farewell video, the I will remember. That was so fucking good, dude. You have to repost that. It was
it's gonna be posted for the recap episode. That's it's gonna be on Instagram. Check it out. Or join the Discord and find it out.
People love that we were so convinced that the Knights of Byzantium weren't gonna come back.
People love when we predict, like a lot of people love that our predictions are right, and then people also love when they're wrong. So we can we can't fail with predictions.
Yeah, that's true. People loved our chatter about Warren.
I'm happy they did because we talked about him for a lot.
They love the continued mentions of Rat Amy the Rat.
Yeah.
They liked our discussion about suck jobs.
I like that someone brought up the fact that I brought up that Tara's family watched Spike punch Tara in the face, and they don't know that he has a chip. So what were they thinking? Like, you just see a guy punch him in the face and be like, "Yep, she's not a demon." Like,
People love the fucking Dew Energy can pops at the beginning. Maybe this isn't the end of the Dew era. Who knows?
Yeah. They buried her where she worked. Something. Is Dawn real? People seem to like.
Yeah, people like that we have discussions about Dawn being real or not.
Oh, this is something that we can't control. When we say things that allude to spoilers that we don't know about.
Yeah.
That's going to keep happening because we don't know.
People bringing up about how often we say that there's a lot of unrequited "I love you" moments.
Yes,
Nobody
we were tracking
ever says it back.
We were tracking the "I love yous." Yeah.
Rat flakes, of course, classic.
Rat flakes, people loved it.
Yep. Is the wolf Dracula? Yep. A lot of people will enjoy that. I think you should leave references.
Yeah, I was wondering if people got those or not. It's been a while.
I love this one is Xander being a nonce. Love nonce as an insult. Love that.
Being a nonce.
Nonce. Fucking dog nonce.
People like our predictions of how Spike and Buffy are going to get together.
Yeah.
The wolf being Dawn. And Drusilla being Dawn and a whole espresso pump bit. That's great.
Getting a lot of love for my impressions.
Yeah.
Of Baby Buffy,
Elmo Buffy,
Dracula, Olaf. I don't even remember doing an Olaf impression, but I guess I did.
Yeah, the Elmo Buffy voice came out of nowhere, and it's hilarious. That's part of why The Weight of the World is a high-ranking podcast episode.
Yeah, I distinctly remember doing that voice and seeing you on our video and being like, "What the fuck."
You're like, what is a toddler? How old is she? And it's like, I think all kids are Muppets.
Oh, whenever we talk about Buffy's absentee father.
Yes. Dude, how does he not show up in the real world?
I know.
Your daughters are like parentless now.
Yeah.
Acknowledging how unbelievably fucked up it would be to feel like your memories aren't real. Yeah.
Yeah.
That is that is a real thing for people with Alzheimer's and dementia, not being able to tell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The revival of the Drusilla impression. You haven't even begun to begin?
Was that this
season?
We
kind of dropped off. Yeah, that was the end of season 4, but then we brought it back up in Dracula.
Okay, yeah. I think, I just remember it fading out.
Yeah. Yeah, man.
We appreciate the things. We appreciate hearing what you guys do like, because sometimes we're like, I don't know of anyone. We know you like the podcast because you're listening to this, but yeah, it's nice to hear the specific stuff that like lands.
Yeah. All right. Should we get into some listener questions for us?
Yeah, I think that's the last thing, right?
Yeah.
Or second to last thing, because we do have that little bonus.
Predictions.
We have predictions, and then we have a little bonus segment where we ask people for stuff. And I wanted to run down a couple of things that people listed.
Okay.
So I have not even looked at these questions yet.
I haven't either.
Okay, so let's scroll through and do as many as we feel like we want to do before predictions. Or like some of these we've already like kind of touched on and stuff.
Yeah.
Like, would you like to take this one, the fashion corner one? That's like the top question.
I think let's just do the usual top question. Do you like the show?
Here we can finally admit no. No, we do.
All this time we've been lying to you people. We fucking hate the show.
Yeah. No, we like the show. Like, we just are nitpicky people. Yeah, we call ourselves out. And we called ourselves out in the finale episode that we're nitpicky. We nitpick ourselves.
We nitpick a lot.
This is how we show enjoyment for a show. Like, like if we were just like, it's fine. Like, I don't know.
If I was just like, hey,
yeah. Like,
it's very much like Tara for me. Like if I was like, Tara's nothing.
Yeah, we go scene by scene. So some scenes we might not like, some art stuff, and we go in episode by episode. So in this we can finally go full arc stuff, but like we don't know what comes next. We don't know how things are gonna play into stuff. So if we say, it's what we've been doing. But yeah,
I feel like you can tell our passion for the show by how much we nitpick it, by how much we analyze it.
Yeah. I mean,
if you're passionate about something, you don't just like, oh yeah, everything's.
My biggest joy is when we bring up something that people who have watched this show multiple times have not even thought of ever.
Yeah.
Which I'm always like, how do you not? How are people not talking about Warren and the realism of these robots? Like, how have you guys not talked about that wolf? Just stuff like that. I like that we can like open up a new thing for people that are longtime fans, like 25 years later or whatever.
Yeah, I enjoy that because it's like, oh shit, okay, well that's interesting. You never really thought about that.
No.
What's the fashion report question?
It's the first one, right? It's if you had to pick one episode, would you prefer that all the Scoobies were ill-fitting Riley jackets or only earth tones?
Oh man. Oh,
I know mine would be ill-fitting Riley jackets because it was hilarious. Oh my god, seeing Dawn and like the shoulders, like
For funny factor, the ill-fitting Riley jackets would be hilarious.
Yeah,
but earth tones would be more normal. I feel like.
Yeah.
Like, look, earth tones.
Earth tones in are general, fine.
Not too bad.
No.
Like when I talk about Willow in the last like 3 or 4 episodes wearing that green turtleneck and like the khaki pants, those are earth tones. That's fine. It's just that plaid bullshit bejeweled sparkly flannel that she has on top of it.
Yeah.
That's terrible.
You can go earth tones, but sometimes things get muddy when you mix a bunch of layers of earth tones together with no like sharp contrast.
Yes, dude. Like that one scene that you and I broke down where it was Buffy, Tara, and Willow, and they're all wearing earth tones, but it was just a mess.
What was the scarf though in that one? That was the thing. It's like it's crazy.
Oh my god.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
I don't. Let's move on to some other.
For my sanity, earth tones. For the hilarity, Riley jackets.
Yeah. If Dawn had died, do you think people would have remembered her? I think yes, they would have remembered her only because when Glory died, everyone didn't seem to get their minds back. So I think they weren't doing this ends, everything goes back to normal.
Yeah.
That's my take on it, but yeah.
I don't know. I try and think of it as like Steins Gate, where like if you travel different world lines. I think Buffy would have remembered, but I don't know if anyone else would have remembered.
Okay. I mean, that's very specific. But yeah.
Buffy would have, like, no one would have known what she sacrificed for the good of the world. You know what I mean?
That would be more interesting narratively that she killed her sister and no one else remembers it, but she has to live with the fact that she killed her sister. Kind of like something that a character in an Angel has to live with that no one else remembers. Yeah. Narratively, that would be really good. I actually would have liked that as an ending too. Yeah. If Buffy did that and no one knew her sacrifice. And no one
else got to no one knows her sacrifice.
Yeah. That would be something. All right. Yeah, I like that.
All right.
A plot line that was shocked hasn't happened yet is like just more info about Slayers.
Yep, more info about Slayers. I would say like more backstory about Tara, but I don't really even care about that.
No.
Yeah. Anyone from this or previous seasons you're hoping pops back up in season 6? Ethan Rayne.
Yeah, Ethan Rayne definitely number one. One of my predictions I'll spoil here is I think Oz is going to come back for at least an episode next season.
Okay.
And I would absolutely love Amy the Rat to show up as Amy the person.
Dude.
I mean, that's what we want.
If she doesn't come back,
they've referenced her
as a human.
They referenced her. They made her come back. We've seen her as a person a season ago.
Willow accidentally did it.
Yeah. So they know, and Willow constantly talks about trying to do it.
she talks about trying to do it, and little does she know she's already done it.
Here's the thing. The other Scoobies could give two shits.
Yeah, they don't even care. They don't even remember. Like, who's Amy? The rat. The girl that turned into her. Oh, right.
Oh, you remember the witch that made everyone fall in love with you, Xander? You know? Remember that? He's like, oh, yeah, whatever.
Remember when we were, like, being lit at the stake and that one chick just turned into a rat? Yeah.
You know that episode that Vance really liked, but, like, the Buffy fandom didn't like? Let's see.
Yeah. How do you think Xander and Anya's relationship will progress? Do you think they'll go through with it?
That's a
spoil one of my predictions. I think that it will.
That you think they will get married?
I think they'll get married in season 6.
I think Anya's gonna be really baby. Well, one of my predictions is Anya's gonna be really baby crazy next season. I don't know where that goes, but she's gonna be real baby crazy, and this show can't handle a baby. It can't handle a baby with Anya and Xander.
Yeah,
but that's the thing. You end up getting weddings and babies for sitcoms and stuff. Like every season finale is like someone's getting married or someone's having a baby.
Yeah.
Do
you think? Hold on. Here's a question that I have. If Xander and Anya do have a baby, will it be human?
Yeah, she's a human now.
All right. You want to take the next listener question?
What's the next one? What question do you have from past episodes? The one. Is that the one you're talking
earrings? About? Yeah. What questions you still have from past episode plot points that are still dangling that you would want an answer to? Dawn's earrings theft.
Yeah, Dawn's earrings. A little reaction to I think past episodes plot points. I'm trying to think. I do want to see how this
Slayers come from.
Yeah, I just want to know more about how this Giles killing this guy is going to pay off, like the turn of this, and I kind of have a prediction for it. Was season 5 better or worse than past seasons? Is there a connection between Ben and Glory? I love that question.
I think that we got a couple of. Is there a connection between Ben and Glory? So season 5 better or worse than past seasons? Should we do the ranking of the seasons right now?
We should do our season rankings right now.
Okay.
Would you want to go first, or you want me to go first?
I'll go first.
Okay.
I will say, I think previously I had season 3 as my top.
Mm-hmm.
Season 2, number 2. I would say season 5, number 3. Season 1 is 4. And then the Adam season is 5th.
Yes. I think I'm pretty much the same, but I think I still have 2 as my number 1 and then 3. Yeah. And 2 and 3 are like very interchangeable.
They're neck and neck, man.
I mean, I really love Angelus.
And Spike. Yeah.
I really love Angelus. And then I really love the mayor in 3. I'm not as high on Faith as everyone. But I don't think like she takes the show down a notch, you know? So like 2 and 3 are kind of interchangeable and like 2A, 2B, like 1A, 1B.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Yeah.
I also feel like season 5 and season 1 are interchangeable for me.
Again, same. Like I have season 5 as my 3 and then 1 is my 4. 1 is a shorter season, but it just has like a fun, like if I'm going to have nostalgia for anything, I have nostalgia for the beginning of this show and this podcast.
Yeah.
When we didn't know anything and we're watching this like really silly thing where Xander's turning into a freaking wolf hyena and eating they ate a principal. Like that's the kind of like we got a ventriloquist dummy running around like she's uppercutting witches. Like it's cheerleaders are getting set on fire. There's werewolves.
I just remember
it's shit.
We did see episode 1 and there's people getting killed by vampires at the Bronze, like in front of everybody.
Yeah.
And then the episode number 2 was The Witch, and you're like, they're already done with vampires.
Yeah.
I remember you being so like, it's episode 2. They're already done with vampires. They're moved on to witches.
Buffy the Vampire Slayer couldn't go 3 episodes without talking about witches. So 5 is above 1, but 1 has like that nostalgic quality to it. And then 4 is just the initiative's not great. Adam's not great. It's got great episodes within the season, but as a full, it's not it. Yeah.
Yeah. So I would say, I do like season 5 better than maybe 2. Definitely better than 1 season. But it's like a mid-tier. I'd give it a B.
What, 1?
Maybe a B plus.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a tone setter that sets all the weird stuff for happening, and then you can layer on serious stuff. It didn't start out serious and then got weird. It started out weird and then naturally got serious. And that's the progression that a show has to go into, because you can't stay weird all the way through. Some shows do that, and it's, but like if it was really serious and then all of a sudden like a cheerleader started catching her hands on fire, and then like you were like, what is this now? Like there's fish, there's a Russian fish doping thing, like her mom just died, like yeah.
Well, dude, her mom just died, and then we had Buffy Bot.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like if you start out earlier seasons with something at that serious level, and then you try to do you earn the right to have Buffy Bots in season 5.
Fair.
Yeah.
All right. Did you feel Glory was the most unbelievable / incoherent villain yet? I don't know.
No, I mean it's.
Yeah, I think she was okay.
It's fine. Like,
yeah,
I like her on screen. I like her being powerful. Her plan is to find something. She's on a fetch quest, so, and the thing she's trying to find is sitting in Buffy's house. So, yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Did you cry when Buffy took the easy way out? Nope. Didn't.
Nope.
I was more questioning how she came to the conclusion that she could do it and swap her place with Dawn.
She's like, oh yeah, share blood, so I hope this works.
Yeah. The whole point of Dawn was that she wasn't the key, the mystical being. And then Buffy was like, I guess I'm a mystical being too.
If only they would have made some other person, they could have just thrown that person over the cliff. Because they wouldn't have cared about anybody else. Do your eyes still see the glory? Do you think Giles will face any consequences for killing Ben in season 6? I don't think he faces any consequences, but I think there's like a turning. In my prediction, I'll talk a little bit more about that. But I don't think I don't think anyone's going to jail for killing anybody.
Yeah, no. Giles goes to the behind bars.
Maybe. I didn't put this in my prediction, but maybe those other demons. No, those other demons don't like Glory, so they wouldn't come back for her. No one would be mad. Yeah.
Here's a good one. So that somebody asked our season rankings. We already did that. But big bad rankings. You think those would be too similar to the season?
What do you mean, the big bad rankings? What do you mean?
Big bad rankings. So like Angelus, the mayor.
Yeah. Angelus is number 1 for me.
Yeah, I think I would say Angelus is number 1 for me as well.
Mayor's going to be number 2.
Would you count Spike as a big bad?
I don't count him as a big bad because he doesn't get full end of season stuff, and he always turns good at the last second.
Yeah.
Glory's going to be above Adam, obviously.
Yeah.
And the first season, I think
Glory's above the Master.
Glory's above the Master for sure. It's the Master and Adam are tricky.
Yeah.
I'll give it to the Master just for being a vampire.
Fair.
Yeah. Done. Yeah.
Do you think the addition of Dawn was a solid choice, or should it have been something else?
Do I think it was a subtle choice?
Solid choice.
I think it's interesting. It's an interesting way to introduce.
Interesting.
There you go. If you like the reference. No, I thought it was an interesting way to like introduce a new character, just like one that they had teased, but then just like throw her in there. I thought that was fun. Let's see. There's a Mountain Dew question. Do you have?
I know.
Do you have?
All right, here we go. If you could create a new Mountain Dew flavor that was Buffy themed, what would it be called, and what are the flavors? All right. I think I'll take the reins on this one.
You're like, I've thought about this. We do have, I'll mention, we do have a listener, Barrel Outlaws on Instagram, who I think I was pitching that they should do. I was like pitching a whiskey to tie in, like a bourbon, and I forget what I did. When you say this, I'll try to find what I wrote for that. But yeah,
okay.
You'll do the soft drink. I'll do the hard drink.
Here is the Mountain Dew flavor. The title. It would be called Espresso Pumped. It would be coffee flavored, but it would be coffee flavored soda. They kind of have that already with like Coke and coffee. But this would be Mountain Dew's take on it. The can would have a wolf on it.
Mountain Dew, are you listening? Let's get this tie in.
Espresso Pumped is the perfect name for a Mountain Dew energy drink.
100%,
dude.
Okay, you
and it's Buffy related, and it has the wolf, who is the mascot of the Espresso Pump. Bro, come on! I think they already have an orange one. It could be a blood orange one. That would work.
I think we got a new merch idea, though.
Dude, Espresso Pumped. Come on, dude.
It's like Pro Milk and It's Always Sunny.
Yeah. I literally just thought of that as I was reading the question. I was like, oh my God, that's so fucking good.
Oh, that's
Espresso Pumped.
Yeah.
Dude, trademark it.
Yeah, I don't have the whiskey thing. I thought I had messaged that person that, but it was one episode maybe we were watching of either Angel or Buffy, and it was something in it. I was like, oh my God. Oh, it was something tied in with beer bad, I think. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, it was like beer good or something. I don't know. Like it was some I don't know. It's not as good as Espresso Pump.
If you're making a beer, bronzed ale. Like the bronze. And it's an ale.
Yeah.
Boom. I work in marketing, people.
Spiked cider. Yeah, you work in
cider.
Yeah, you work in marketing and you run the Joe's Fashion Report /corner. You rebranded and then took your rebrand and then put a undecided in the middle of it.
Dude, we should make a Buffy restaurant. We could have Spike's Bloomin' Onion. Spike's Wings. Yeah. Spiked beer battered wings.
Beer battered wings. Yeah, I mean, all the puns are there.
Dude, we gotta make a Buffy restaurant.
This is a pop-up. You don't make a full restaurant. You make a little pop-up thing and you have an event. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's an event situation, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude.
Maybe.
I'm going to be thinking of these fucking food items for the rest of the episode. Like, I'm not going to be able to pay attention.
There's like, we went on that tangent of, what was it? The Buffy spinoff series?
Yeah. Bronzed ale.
Right.
Doomed onion. Fucking beer battered.
You're going to have to drink. It's going to be your first alcoholic drinks. It's going to be all these like Buffy themed drinks. You got to try it.
Dude, I'm very proud of Espresso Pumped. I'm grinning ear to ear. People can't see me. Vance can see how happy I am.
I know. You're like, I work in marketing. I market stuff all the time. I came up with an idea and I'm going to shut down because I like
all so I happy. Did was add ED to the name of a restaurant.
These aren't even like hard. That's it for the day. I'm punching out.
Oh my God.
All right. Do all the hints, this is a good question. Do all the hints regarding Dawn since season 3 seem fun now? Or has your opinion on the season 4 finale changed at all? That is a good one. Because everyone brought up Restless. Everyone brought up like, oh yeah, you'll get Restless later.
In season 3 are too vague still. Like, I don't think they had this planned out since season 3.
They definitely had it planned out since season 4.
Yes. Because when Buffy's in that mind trip thing with Faith and she says, Lil Sis is coming soon.
That's season. Yeah. Is that season 3 or 4? That's 3.
I think that's 4.
I think that's 3 because that's
No, because it's 4 because Buffy's fighting Faith on college campus and Riley goes to the church. When they do that the dream situation where Faith says Little Sis is coming, that's definitely season 4.
Okay.
Because it was the episode where they swapped bodies.
Oh, I thought it was like after when she was like killing her or something. In the end of like, at the end of the mayor thing after she stabbed her. I thought it was the beginning after she stabbed.
That's season 3 where they had the cat, but she doesn't say Little Sis is coming until season 4.
All right, we'll be corrected if we're not right.
I think the season 3 foreshadowing is still too vague because
it doesn't like, for me, it doesn't like move the needle that much for me.
Yeah. Season 4, sure.
Season 4 finale. I mean, I don't know if it seems fun. I still feel like once Dawn shows up, we're still like asking more questions. It's not like, oh, Dawn showed up. That's the payoff. They nailed it. Like, as soon as she shows up, then it's like, what the fuck is going on? And then you find out she's the key. And it's like, I think if the predictions were less, oh, there's a big portal dimension thing that's coming, but the predictions were like, oh, Little Sis is coming. But we don't know what Little Sis means, so it doesn't matter. But if there's an existential threat coming, and then the sister shows up, and then we're like, oh, she's the, it was like a new character's coming, not like a new threat's coming necessarily.
I think these are 2 separate questions. Because like the season 4 finale was hinting at.
Well, they're talking about Restless. If Restless, they are 2 separate questions.
If anything, I think that my opinion of Restless has gotten worse because that seems like it was setting up for you haven't even begun to understand what you are. And then we still didn't really explore that too much.
I know. I just wish the season explored it, but they didn't. They had the mom die, and then they had Dawn's whole thing, and they didn't really have time for Buffy to be like, I thought Buffy was going to talk to the Watchers about like Slayer stuff, and they were going to explain like where Slayers come from. I don't know. Mm-hmm. Like we find out where Dawn comes from. We didn't find out where Slayers come from. I still don't know how Slayers work. But yeah.
All right, you pick the next question.
I guess we can stick with Dawn. Do we think she was a solid choice to add on, or would you have done something different? Yeah, this just seems about right for the time. Adding another thing for her to protect.
I think that the addition of Dawn was just like mind blowing. Like we talk about the monks all the time. Like
I think
so crazy.
I think she could have been her sister that came in from out of town, and she was living with the dad. And it's like one of those like, wait, you never talked about your sister? I was like, I didn't? Huh? I thought I did. Mm-hmm. And then that's it. Like she just always had a sister in like real life. But she like that would have been an interesting way to introduce the sister. But then we find out that the monks made her. As opposed to like shocking us, but it's either here or there. I think she's a fine addition to the flow.
She's okay. She's fine.
Yeah,
I like her better than Tara.
Yeah, right now. Yeah.
Okay.
At this point in your watch, what would be the ideal end to the series? I'm gonna say season 3 is ending.
Yeah.
I can't predict how this. I can't predict the way that this will end. Like Buffy's died twice already in this series.
You can't have her die again, can you?
Like I don't want her to end up. I don't want her to end up with Angel or Spike.
Yeah.
I guess my ideal ending would be her. Like, what's a happy ending for Buffy? I think this is it. This is the happiest ending she could possibly have. This is the happiest ending she can get.
Yeah.
She saved her sister.
That Buffy is allowed to have a happy ending. It's kind of like, I think I brought this up a couple times. Like she's Spider-Man. Like she doesn't get happiness.
She's any superhero. Like no superhero is happy. I do think the season 3 finale is real solid.
Yeah, it's still the best finale.
Yeah, so we'll see.
Will you visit the Buffy Discord when it's all said and done? I'm guessing that means the full spoiler one.
Or just like when we're done with the podcast, will we still go to Discord? Yeah, we still run it. And also, That's a year or so away, guys.
Yeah,
We're
that's
still
so far
doing
away.
Angel. We'll still got Angel that's going to overlap after that. Don't worry. Don't worry. The boys are still going to be around. Everyone's like, what's the next show you're going to do? Still got 2 seasons of Buffy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow, that Mountain Dew flavor got asked twice.
It's the Dew era, baby.
Yeah.
We are going to do predictions for next season coming up very shortly. We did the 5th season so far.
High school era versus post high school. I think I'm still partial to the high school era.
Easily. Our 2 favorite seasons are high school era.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck, marry, kill Anya, Willow, Tara. Kill Tara. Fuck Anya, marry Willow.
Yep. We got asked a lot of FMK questions. Like, we've been kind of nice on the podcast. We don't like really. Only body shaming happens is Joe body shaming the men. Dude, those lats? You call those lats?
That's the body of a military guy? Get the fuck out of here.
But we got another fuck, marry, kill Spike, Angel, Riley.
Kill Riley.
Fucking Spike, marry, and Angel.
Yeah. Angel seems the most devoted.
I mean, Spike's gonna be devoted in that kind of way where you gonna watch out. And
fuck, marry, kill Buffy, Willow, Anya.
What was the other one that we had? What was that before?
It was Tara.
Oh, okay.
Instead of Buffy. Kill Anya, fuck Buffy, marry Willow.
I know. I did the same thing. Yeah, marry Willow. Yeah. I saw what happened when Riley got too close to Buffy. Everyone that gets close to Buffy. I don't know.
Yeah. Even though my predictions for Willow, I don't know.
Yeah. This person also asked, how would you feel if Dawn died in the finale? I think
nothing. No, I'm just
relieved. No, we brought it up before, but yeah, I think her dying would have been interesting if it did that memory thing you were talking about, where only Buffy remembered it. It'd be more weight on her. But season 5 is my favorite. Mostly, I lost my mom in February this year, so sadly, a few of your segments I had to skip. But as season 5 is my favorite, mostly because Gloria is a kick-ass bitch. I'm curious how your enjoyment of this darker season compares to season 2 and its darker side. I mean, I like 2 more. I think the mom dying is dark, but the villainy isn't. Like, the threat of Angel trying to kill your mom versus the mom having, like, a tumor or whatever. And Glory, Glory was a threat to him, but they just didn't. I felt like when Angel was around, Angelus was around, Giles was like, hey, Buffy, you got to take care of this. We got to stop it. Glory, they were like, Glory's still out there. What do you want to do today? You want to see a movie? Yeah. I'm like, she's still out there. Like, they were just living their life. They were so casual.
Angelus felt way more threatening to me.
Yeah, that's when they started being like, we need to put spells. That was like, we have to start putting spells on our houses so vampires can't get in. Like, they were actively trying to prevent him.
Well, here's the thing, too, is like, Glory also had jokes. Like, Glory was like fun and funny. Yeah. Angelus didn't have jokes. He was like, man, I'm fucking shit up.
Yeah.
And sadistic. And like drawing your mom and leaving pictures, snapping Jenny Calendar's neck.
That is such a high point, which is why like season 2 is always like hard for me. Like, that stuff was so
Yeah, he was serious. Mm-hmm. Like, the mayor was a lot of fun.
Oh, the mayor was great. And he was like a murderous. I loved the mayor's character too, though. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I think Glory's up there. I like Glory a lot. Yeah. She was fun. It was, like I said, it was a nice reset away from Adam. I mean,
Glory's dealing with the plot armor that a lot of these characters have, you know? Like, there wasn't a lot of expendable characters, and they weren't willing to kill anybody this season. They didn't kill Tara. They didn't kill Anya. Like, they didn't kill any of the, like, fringe Scoobies, you know? They didn't keep Riley around so he could be killed, you know? Like, so it was like, is she going to kill one of the main groups? Nah, we're just going to kind of like, ooh, Tara's mind is Giles got lanced in the stomach.
If you could have one character from previous seasons return in season 5, who would it have been, and where/when would you have added them? Amy the rat. Amy returns as a human and starts doing spells with Willow and Tara. They make a coven.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know when I would have done that. Probably after the hospital fight or before the hospital fight. So that Amy could have also transported Lori.
Yeah. I'm trying to think if I had a character from a previous season come back. Gotta be Ethan Rayne, I guess. I like him. I'm trying to think previous season people that would still be like around.
Yeah. I mean, Ethan Rayne's always a good choice.
Ethan Rayne's always a good choice.
He's awesome, dude.
Yeah. Their second question in that is if you could choose it, if you could have different characters killed off in place of Buffy, who would you choose and how do you think it played out differently? I mean, the way the plot works, no one else can really die in that situation.
Yeah.
I guess it would just still be Dawn. I would get rid of Dawn.
I guess Dawn. Yeah.
Dawn would be the least consequential for me for going on. Like, there's nothing for Dawn next season except for if she's going to date that boy in high school that's a psychopath.
Yeah. Ooh, this is an interesting question. Who do you think will survive the whole series? Willow.
Willow. Willow and Xander.
Yeah. Of Buffy, Xander, and Willow, who is adulting the best? Does it even seem like they're still teenagers? Xander's definitely adulting the best.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, they're 20. They're not teenagers anymore. They're 20.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's got a job. He's got his own place. He's engaged.
Oh, wait till they see
very young.
Wait till they see Cordelia and Angel. Like, that's a full-grown adult. But do you like the show? And
yeah,
what do you guys think will happen with Spike and Buffy? Oh, they're gonna bang.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How do you think the writers will deal with Willow being so powerful now?
That'll lean into predictions. Probably.
Predictions. How do you feel about the series as a whole if it ended after season 5? I think it feels unfinished.
Yeah, I feel like it's I mean, we talked about this in the podcast, talked about this earlier in this one. It seems like a good ending for Buffy, but no one else. Like, all the other characters have stuff that is just like, ooh, I can't wait to see what happens next.
Yeah.
And then
I want to see the fallout from this.
I want to see Giles' fallout. I want to see if this engaged to Anya thing breaks out. I want to see what Tara and Willow being super powerful. Well, I want to see how Dawn is like, who's taking care of Dawn.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
Right. So we're going to do predictions and then our little bonus segment.
Okay.
Yeah.
Predictions. Do you want to start or you want me to start?
I'm going to start because you took
right.
your.
Are you going to run through them all or are we going to go back and forth?
How would you like me to do it?
Let's run through them all.
Okay. So, my big prediction. Well, these are just predictions. I think Buffy's going to meet. This one I hate that I'm going to have, but I'm going to say Buffy meets Amy the Rat. And I said this in the finale episode. Buffy meets Amy, who died when that wall was ripped off in the afterlife or whatever. And she also meets Joyce in the afterlife. And they have a conversation that makes her decide to go back. I don't like that at all. I don't really want that to happen, but I just put it there. I'm sticking with Xander gets superpowers. Or he begs Willow to give him superpowers. I feel like he's going to have a thing where I thought it was happening this season, but he's had this whole thing where he never feels like he's strong enough and he fits in. And I feel
honestly, I feel like that was more of a Riley thing. That was
Riley's thing at the beginning, but Xander has always had that. Like in the Zeppo was before that. So like he had that like, oh, I'm just like this, So I still think Xander's getting superpowers is a thing. I'm sticking with it. I might have been a season ahead. Buffy and Spike finally hook up, and he writes her a poem, some poetry. You're
I have
nodding.
that too.
Yeah. Joe's
I have that too.
Joe's face.
I lit up.
Yeah.
I got espresso pumped.
New term. Giles goes full Ripper, and it's scary. Like his bloodlust. It's like he is the anti Buffy doesn't kill innocents. Giles is like someone did something wrong, murder him. Tara and Willow break up at least for a bit, and Willow's powers go off the rails.
Mm-hmm.
Spike somehow has adopted Dawn and or is her like pseudo guardian.
All right.
No one else is going to take it. Giles isn't.
Yeah, I was like,
and the dad is not even flying back to Sunnydale. Anya gets baby crazy. I mentioned that.
Mm-hmm.
I think they will also use teleportation portals to travel somewhere. Okay, I think they like when I said teleportation confirmed, I meant like not like which. Oh my god, I have headaches for 3 days. I think they're gonna just open portals and be able to move around, at least in one episode.
Doctor Strange style.
Yeah. And my last one, there may be mention of Riley, but I don't think we ever see him again, but we do see Oz again.
All right. I'm going to kick mine off with, I also have Spike reads a poem that he wrote for Buffy. Have that. I have Xander and Anya get married. I have a lot about Dawn here. I say that Dawn is a damsel in distress more often. I say that Dawn slays a vampire or two. Mm-hmm. And then I also say that Dawn has more of a storyline in the sense that we get to see more of her life and like her friends. Because we don't get to see that a lot this season. Yeah. Like we have in the body, we see her at school painting or whatever. And that's it. I think we're going to see a little bit more of like Dawn's Scoob situation, maybe.
Yeah, I would have to predict that we see more of Dawn as a capable killer of vampires. Because now Dawn is like the size, like she's smaller than Buffy, which is crazy because Buffy's tiny. But like it's even more of a like little.
Is she smaller than Buffy?
She's shorter than Buffy. She's not taller than Buffy.
I think she might be taller than Buffy.
I don't think she's taller than Buffy. And I think it's just gonna see. I mean, she might hit a growth spurt between these seasons too. But it's gonna be nice to see like another like seemingly frail, not powerless girl becoming really powerful and underestimated. You know, kind of like how Willow. That's really what the show is like. Willow's like an underestimated like person too, and she's like the most powerful one. You know. Yeah.
Speaking of Willow, here are my big predictions. Willow becomes evil after gaining more power and reading from the darkest magics. I think that that's going to start to consume her because we saw her eyes turn black and shit. And it's like, that's gonna not be good. I also think that Willow is the person that raises Buffy from the dead, and she sees Buffy as ungrateful because she's like, I'm the one that raised you. Because Buffy's going to start to like do her bossing people around. I'm the Slayer.
So you think that's going to happen in the first couple episodes?
No, this is predictions for season 6.
No, I know, but like you just said, she's going to raise her from the dead.
Yeah, I think she's going to raise her from the dead.
You think that's happening in episode 10? Like if she's raising her from the dead, it's going to be the first couple episodes. She's going to raise her from the
dead within the first 2 episodes.
That's what I just said.
Okay. But I thought you meant like
no, not the conflict, but like you don't think she learned her lesson from like Tara ripping into her when she like tried to give Dawn the thing?
Nope.
If she raises Buffy from the dead, it's on, man. If I'm Buffy, I'm beating the shit out of Willow.
Why?
She didn't want to die. She wanted to die. Buffy wants to go. She was tired of fighting. That's like someone like.
I think
it's like the Severance thing. It's
well,
like,
maybe that also leads into my next prediction of like Buffy being ungrateful for doing that, and then Willow being like, "I fucking brought you back. Like, why are you being like this?" And then that's where the conflict happens.
I don't think
Buffy
ungrateful is the term. I think Willow might. Oh yeah, that's weird. Yeah.
All right, man. That's all I'm saying. Those are my.
Do you think Buffy would be? Here's my question: do you think Buffy would be ungrateful if she didn't appreciate Willow bringing her back to life?
So you're saying that Buffy wouldn't want to come back to life because she made that sacrifice, and if Willow brings her back to life, it strips Buffy of that sacrifice. So she'd be like, "What the fuck, dude? I just made that sacrifice." And Willow's like, "Not anymore. Aren't you happy?" And Buffy's like, "No, dude, I made the whole sacrifice. Death is my gift. You took my gift away from me."
Yeah.
Conflict.
Yeah, no, that's the conflict. But you think I'm saying, do you think that Buffy would be ungrateful in that situation? Do you think
Like
Do you think Buffy should be grateful that Willow brought her back to life?
I think so, yeah.
I just you think Joyce should have been grateful that Dawn tried to bring her back to life?
I mean, she was a zombie. She can't.
Well, we don't know. We don't know what she would have been.
That's true. We don't know.
Like you mentioned in the finale, Buffy is in the ground. You mentioned that hardcore. So bringing her back is still the same situation. I don't think you're grateful to be brought back to life when you decided that you were done. Like, I can't think of a lot of suicide victims that would be like, thank you for bringing me back.
I don't think that it was like a suicide, though. I think Buffy was like, this is my responsibility.
She kept talking about giving up and wanting to quit. She definitely wanted to check out. And the whole arc of Fool for Love is him telling him that Slayers have death wishes. They all just want to check out at the end. And she wanted to check out. She had no hesitation. She went into that fight. She went into that fight expecting to die. She went into the fight expecting to die.
I don't think she did.
You don't think she did? She talked to Spike about it in the last episode. She literally said it. She said, we're not coming back. And if I don't come back, I need you to take care of her. Like, she literally is going in planning to die.
I think that she's only, but I'm saying, I think that she only is doing that because she sees there's no other recourse.
Well, that's before she even gets there.
I don't think she's happy about dying.
I think she's at peace with it. And I think bringing her back to life, would be a thing that she shouldn't have to be like, thank you for doing that. I was hoping that you'd figure out a way to save me. Like, if she would have whispered this to like Willow, if she whispered something, we never heard it, and she was like, hey, I might kill myself, but just figure a way to bring me back. Like, that would be something. Like, because why not? We see that you can.
I'm going to have another prediction. When Buffy does get brought back to life, however it happens, she's going to look at the outfit that she was buried in and she's going to go, you guys buried me in this?
All right. That's a good one.
She's going to say something catty like that.
Buffy coming back is just the craziest thing to me.
I don't think that she wanted to die. I think she knows that that's the sacrifice she has to make.
I think she wanted to die.
I don't think she's happy.
I think she wanted to die. And I don't think she wants to be brought back to life. I don't think she wants to be brought back to life to fight demons for another 2 years. That's what I'm going to say.
All right. You're entitled to your opinion. I'm entitled to mine.
I know.
All right. So those are our predictions. And now we got Vance's bonus round.
So we asked the listeners to suggest we do on Patreon Boys Watching Movies. And we decided to ask for some suggestions for movies for us to watch. And some movies have made our short list that we were already planning to watch. But we got a bunch of selections. I'm not going to go through all of them, but I selected a few that we'll talk about like briefly. A couple people picked Cabin in the Woods, which is
that one's been on the list for quite a while.
Which is a Josh Whedon written and directed.
Oh, you said Josh.
I said Joss. Did I say Joss?
Oh,
I think I said Joss. I thought you said Joss. Whatever, Joss. I Know What You Did Last Summer, which has been on the list. Scooby-Doo.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Interesting enough, The Monster Squad, a movie Joe and I talked about on the Lost Boys podcast.
Yeah, we talk heavily about that one.
And you said you were interested in seeing it, and I was like, I don't know if I'd want to go back to see it because I don't know if it's going to hold up in a whole nostalgia talk. But Monster Squad might have to make the short list.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's an 80s movie of its time. Yeah, it'll be interesting. We got Jennifer's Body.
I've seen that once, like many years ago. People fucking love that movie, though.
Twilight.
People fucking love those movies.
Vampire's Kiss, which I think is the Nick Cage one. There's a Nick Cage one, and there's a Jim Carrey one. I can't remember what the titles are. Someone suggested Do Revenge. This
is that the new movie
with Sarah Michelle
Gellar?
Yeah. Pride and Prejudice and Zombies, which I remember hearing about but never watching. I did see Abraham Lincoln Vampire Slayer. That was interesting. Vampire Hunter. That was an interesting one.
Yeah.
And we had a special request for So I Married an Axe Murderer. The Michael Myers. What makes this request Mike special? Myers. Friend had passed away, and Mike Myers reminds them of that person. And this would be very cathartic, they say.
Okay. I've never even heard of So I Married an Axe Murderer.
You haven't? The Mike Myers movie?
No.
Oh, interesting. And
like Austin Powers, Mike Myers?
Yeah.
Huh. Yeah.
Huh. Interesting. And also someone suggested True Blood, which is not a movie. They mentioned that there's not a movie in it, but they suggested a whole new series for us to do. And someone mentioned Arrival. And I actually was on a podcast reviewing that and the short story it's based off of. That podcast no longer exists, but I think if you reach out to me on Discord and are interested, I can maybe track down that podcast and give you that episode. It was a podcast called The Blink Was Better, and it was like comparing the book to the movie, or the other movie versus the other movie and stuff like that. And friends of mine were doing it, and I was like, I suggested we do Arrival because I just read the thing and I watched the movie, and it was a fun podcast to compare the two because they're so different and so of their times. But yeah, if that was your thing, hop on Discord or email us or hop on the Instagram DMs, and yeah, I'll see if I can track that down and get you a copy of that podcast episode. And I do want to say we're not saying that we're going to do all these movies that happened, but just know they're on our list. They're a possibility. And yeah.
This is a good list of movies, though. I mean, we already had some of these planned, I feel like.
Yeah.
And we're like, okay, this is just confirmation we're heading in the right direction.
Yeah.
But yeah, thanks. Thank you, listeners, for participating in our poll and all that shit. Do we have anything else?
No.
I think that's it.
This is a lot.
Yeah, this is a long-ass podcast. I don't know what else we could possibly talk about. But yeah, that is season 5, everybody. Thanks for listening. Thanks for sticking it out with us. And thanks for, this is a long-ass podcast. If you stuck it out through this 2.5+ hours, you the real ones, all right? So, all the usual ending notes. Patreon.com/Boys Watching Buffy. We're going to do the same thing for Angel, season 2 recap. Join the Discord. We got merch. Look at the links in the show notes. Yeah, what else? Yeah, Instagram, Boys Watching Buffy, @Boys Watching Buffy. Email, boyswatchingbuffy@gmail.com. And stay tuned for next episode when we start season 6.
Seltzer Kings podcasts.